Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, are you ready for some great crossing football? Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet, it is time to greet your Great Crossing Rocks!
Five, 4, 3. Welcome, everybody, to Bird's Nest Stadium in Georgetown, Kentucky on a brisk Saturday night, to say the least. A little different situation than when we were here 24 hours ago. Probably about 25 degrees cooler. Had that round of heavy rain and thunderstorms last night pushed this game back 24 hours, but we are glad to be here with you on the NFHS Network and newsgraphic.com. Thank you for joining us. I am Cal Oakes. Derek Varney is off tonight. Our special guest will be Coach Steve Page, which means I'm sure we will talk about basketball at some point this evening. But, Coach, what are your thoughts on this football game? Great Crossing, from a coaching perspective, you got to like the direction they are headed in, getting a couple of wins under their belt, coming into what is a pivotal district game.
Yeah, Cal, anytime you get two wins in a row, coming into the pivotal, district game for them tonight, obviously a huge game. And, they've got to have special thoughts in their mind because last year they had one victory and it was obviously over this team. So, they've got to feel good and confident about themselves, not only winning 2 in a row, but coming into Grant County tonight and getting, obviously it's going to be a real good game, but I think they feel good about themselves.
Yeah, they went up to Dry Ridge last year, led that one big early. Grant County stormed back to tie it. Great Crossing with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion with about 4 minutes to go, then a defensive stand to pull out that victory on the road. Their 2 victories this season have come on the road, so here's a chance, Steve, to win at home for the first time here at Bird's Nest Stadium, and they've got to love the opportunity to do that in front of the home fans.
Absolutely, and playing games at home, it's always a good thing. And I would say we had a little bit of an advantage tonight. Grant County came last night expecting to play. We had the weather delay. Not the Dry Ridge is that long way away, but they spent an extra 2 hours basically in the last 24 hours on the road, so that should help. I know last year we got off to Great Crossing got off to a great start against Grant County, so it'll be important tonight to do the same to set the tone. And they're going to go on offense first, and if as you pointed out in the paper the other day, and we saw last year, they're not going to punt. So if you can get a good early stop and get some momentum and get the ball, in plus territory to start the game.
The other thing to watch here is over the past 3 games, the Great Crossing defense has scored 5 touchdowns. I think that's half the touchdowns the team has scored over that span. They've certainly hit the accelerator for the Warhawks the past couple of weeks. It's really given them an edge and given them those big leads on the road against Montgomery County and then Western Hills. So coming in at 2-3, both teams at 2-3. In fact, with a district win, the winner of this game will clinch the number 3 seed in the playoffs. And who knows, that might mean the Warhawks get to play on their home field anyway, but a long way to go until then. Some big games to be played. About ready to put the ball in the air. It is a short kick, looked intentionally so, as it'll be taken at the 35, and a big hit by Caleb Perry. Didn't give Grant County much time to think about that one. The Braves will go on offense at their own 35. And it's an offense that is centered around a workhorse fullback, to say the least, tailback, in Logan Sutherland. He carried the ball 37 times against Scott County. I can't imagine getting hit that much by that defense. So Great Crossings defense, the way they've been playing. We'd love to put a hurt on Mr. Sutherland as well. He'll get the ball first here. He'll find a little bit of room on the right before he is taken down by Orion Fisher after a gain of about 7.
Yeah, Cal, like you mentioned, he had 179 yards against Scott County, and he's averaging 150 a game, but a little bit of an anomaly there because he only had 19 against Douglas, so he's really 180 besides that, and 7 yards. Great Crossing going to want to keep that number down.
That Douglas game was over before it started. It ended up being 64-0. Sutherland up the middle across midfield to the Warhawks 47. So Grant County kind of going with a hurry-up look here as well.
Yeah, Caleb Perry leads the state in tackles, but Great Cross is going to want to have their line get some more tackles tonight to keep him out of the secondary.
This is not a recording. Logan Sutherland with the carry. He'll get 5 more up the gut. Yeah, and you mentioned Perry with the 90 tackles in 5 games. That's good and bad. Could be a double-edged sword. You don't necessarily want your safety to be your leading tackler with that kind of a runaway statistic, certainly. But as we said, the takeaways have been the big key for the Warhawks lately. Here's another handoff. Sutherland on the left side looking for some room. They changed it up a little bit, went east to west.
And shocker, Caleb Perry has a tackle.
Yeah, you're not going to outrun him to that corner. It's going to be 3rd and a long 2 for the Braves from the Warhawk 40. It's been every carry so far. Every play has been a carry for Logan Sutherland. Connor Knipp is the quarterback. He's in the shotgun formation. He will throw it quickly to the left. It will be complete out there, and a first down to Nick Dion. Rather, Carson Bick. I apologize. That is a first down. He gets out of bounds at the 34. He's taken out there. 10:31 to play here in the first quarter. Grant County on the move at the Great Crossing 34.
Well, Cal, you mentioned they've obviously carried the ball a bunch early, but on the season they had 898 rushing yards and 829 passing coming into the game. So, they seem to be very, very versatile to be able to do both areas.
Good balance. One thing that does help that is they've been behind a lot, especially in those last 2 games. It was good for them to have a bye week, I think, after playing Douglas and Scott County. It gave them time to regroup a little bit. Here's Sutherland trying to go wide, and that's good pursuit by Casey Fain, number 13, going to the far edge of the field to take down Sutherland for a loss. He'll be marked back at the 37, or it'll be 2nd and 13.
You talk about playing Douglas and Scott County back-to-back. I saw a little blurb on the Big Things Kentucky with Jacob Morris, the coach at Grant County this week, and he was wondering what he's done to somebody to have those 2 teams in his district.
That is brutal. I think anybody who's in the district with those 2 teams could ask that question. Here's Sutherland up the middle. A lot of room there as he gets inside the 25. It's another Grant County first down, it appears. And they will go right to work again, get up right to the line. They're at the 23. This drive only has taken 2 minutes to get to or close to the red zone. Nip again in the shotgun. Sutherland, the lone setback. He will take the ball again, the handoff, and he will go up inside the 20, another gain of 6. And Sutherland has done almost all the work other than that quick throw to Bick on this drive.
Yeah, they're controlling the line of scrimmage so far, Grant County.
Grant County's got to love the start that they're off to. As we said, they got behind 20-0 last year in this game. That's another good almost takedown for a loss, but second effort by Sutherland will move the ball close to the 15, call it the 16. It'll be 3rd and a couple.
Well, Brandon Smith didn't make the play there, but he did slow down Sutherland to allow his pursuit to come in and keep that gain very short.
This is probably the longest Grant County has taken to run a play to this point as Nip will look to the sideline. He'll give out his signals now. He'll get back in the shotgun again, pretty deep. He's about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He will look to throw. That ball might have been tipped, and it's tipped again and knocked down, incomplete, as Fain was there to make the play. And with 8:43 to go, Grant County's got decision time, although we've said they don't kick much. So I don't think there's a decision to be made. They'll go for it.
I think it worked out well that pass was high. Casey Fain kind of had a beat on it, and if it would have hit the guy in the numbers, I think the numbers might have been in blue.
Yes. It is 4th and 2. Big play early in the game for the Warhawk defense. Nip will look to the sideline again. He's got plenty of time on the play clock. It ticks down to about 10 now. Man in motion is Bick. He split out to the left. 3, 2, 1. And did they take a very bad delay of game penalty?
Yes, they did. Make it 3rd and 7.
I don't know. I just don't know how you do that if you're Grant County. That's just awful. 4th and 7. They'll mark it back to the 21. Big break for the Warhawks.
Cal, especially looking over at the sidelines, he didn't have any trouble seeing his coach because they have a very limited roster. There's not many people over there to see besides their coach.
Maybe a dozen other bodies in uniform over there other than the ones on the field. Nip, 4th and 7, will have to throw now. He will scramble for his life to the right, throw it over the middle. It's a slant that falls incomplete, and it's a defensive stand for the Warhawks with 8:08 to play in the first quarter. So they got a little help, Steve, but good stop by the defense.
Again, those last couple of plays, Brandon Smith, the one play there, did a good job penetration, and on that play, that kind of held the line of scrimmage. But anytime again you put a team with the carrier like Sutherland in 7+ yards on 4th down, you've got an advantage.
So here we go. The Great Crossing offense will go to work at its own 21 under center. Jake Broughton. He will keep it to the right. Look to pitch. He's got some room on the outside as his pitch man. It's Peyton Harris. And he will get it out to just about the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. Gain of 7 for Harris. 2nd and 3. Good work on 1st down for the Warhawks.
Broughton did a really good job with the ball there and draw 2 Grant County defenders. And Harris around the outside got the last-minute pitch.
Always a dangerous pitch in your own end of the field there, but it worked out for GC. 2nd and 4, we'll call it.
Cal's never dangerous when it works out.
That's right. And we'll have a timeout. Guess it'll be Grant County as they want to talk it over. They might could have wanted to use one of those on offense when it was 4th down and 2. But we're not complaining from the Great Crossing perspective as they have held to start this game, and it's the Warhawks ball with 7:36 remaining here in the first quarter. We'll thank some of our sponsors while we have the opportunity. Bluegrass Orthopedics, serving athletes of all ages. Georgetown News Graphic, if you're listening to this game at newsgraphic.com, we appreciate it and certainly consider subscribing twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. We'll bring you all the sports and news involving our school district and all around the county. Denise M. Keene, certified public accountant for your tax and auditing needs. Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, buying and selling made easy. Chick-fil-A, home of the original chicken sandwich. Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky. Clark's Pump and Shop, return, refresh, refuel, now with 3 or soon to be 3 locations in Georgetown. Georgetown Community Hospital, where your health and safety remain our number one priority. We'll have some Player of the Game awards to get to later tonight as well. We'll talk about those sponsors. But here we go, 2nd and 3 from the 28. Broughton hands off to the first man through. It is Jaquise Patterson. Jaquise has had to step up along with Tyrus Cobbins in the absence of Caspin Colbert here recently. And, Coach, if they can get some effort out of that fullback position to keep the defense honest, it certainly helps with the other things the Warhawks like to do.
Yeah, it's a bad loss with Caspin going down, but they got a few kids that can step into the spot.
At the 33 now, new set of downs for the Warhawks. Broughton keeps it. Nope. Yes. Couldn't really tell if he was just trying to sell the fake or not, but he got taken down quickly for no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
It almost looked like he wasn't sure whether he faked it or not because he kind of double clutched on the ball there.
Triple option with a lot of similarities in that respect to Scott County's wing T. You can't always tell who's got the ball if the quarterback does a good enough job. It is 2nd and 10. Broughton with the straight handoff up the middle. They'll only pick up about a yard there, as the first man through was Patterson once again. So 3rd and long, 9 yards to go from the Great Crossing 34. You got to get yourself in good down and distance situations, Coach. That's the hard thing with this offense. You gotta keep it third and short if you can.
Yeah, for both of them tonight, really.
Yes, both teams very similar in that respect. Broughton out of the shotgun now. He will have to throw on 3rd and long. He will go deep, look for Caleb Perry. That's a jump ball that Perry comes down with.
He dropped it.
He juggled it and dropped it. They're going to call it incomplete. He hit the turf, and out came the ball. So it'll be a punt situation more than likely with 6:06 remaining here in the first quarter.
Caleb with a great effort there. I thought he was going to come down with it, but like you said, he hit the ground and it kind of popped out on him. But 50-50 ball there, and I'm going to take my chances with Caleb on that play most of the time.
You got to think if it gets picked, it's as good as a punt, and very unlikely that that's going to happen with Caleb at 6'4" and can jump out of the gym going up for the ball. Caleb will punt now. There's a flag down. That may be a sideline warning. It hit a Grant County return man in the back. And it looks like the Braves recovered at the 35, so they'll start the second drive where they started the first one. But that was an odd situation and a scary one for the Braves. And they will call that procedure false start on Great Crossing. I will think Grant County won't mess around with it. They'll probably want to take the ball. The play wasn't whistled dead.
Yeah, we must have had too many people on the line of scrimmage because based on the signal, they'd have blown it dead if it was a false start. But
they tried to punt it quickly, and that made nope, they are going to move it back and do this again. So it'll be marched back 5 yards. It'll be 4th and 14, and Caleb Perry will have to kick it away once more.
I guess they're trusting their returner there because after that last play where it hits their own player in the back, I'm not sure I wouldn't have taken that field position.
I don't think their special teams are all that special, given the fact that they don't punt themselves, although they do try a lot of onside kicks. So I guess that's a double-edged sword as well. Perry standing inside his own 20 now. Awfully quiet here with a limited number of fans. It is blocked, and it will be run back for a touchdown for Grant County. Yep, he crossed the plane first. Trying to see who had the score for Grant County, and the number he is celebrating, number 13, is Aldo Olivas. And it was blocked by someone else, but Olivas was the right man on the spot. Yeah. Johnny on the spot, Aldo on the spot, if you will.
I believe it was 22, Matthew Martin, who got the block.
So Grant County, we won't talk negatively about their special teams. That was a gem for the Braves, and they get on the board first.
A brilliant decision by the coach to have them re-kick it.
Why not? As you say, it all works out in the end sometimes. Makes you look like a genius.
That's exactly right. We get, as coaches, we get second-guessed about every play, so.
Grant County will go for 2. Sutherland trying to get inside. He gets stopped at the 1. And the Warhawks will deny the PAT, but it's a 6-0 lead for the Braves with 5:47 remaining in the first quarter.
You know, it's a conversion there, but it's actually a really important play, I think, for Great Crossing. It's 3 plays in a row now that they've won the line of scrimmage.
And it makes you think that maybe Great Crossing knew something there as quickly as Caleb tried to get rid of the ball the first time they punted, that they were going to be in some danger tonight with Grant County trying to come after them.
Yeah, the snap was, it kind of got back there awful slowly, and it kind of put pressure on Caleb from the get-go.
So the penalty proves costly as Grant County cashes in that second opportunity for a special teams touchdown and takes a 6-0 lead. We mentioned them falling behind 20-0 last year, so they've got to like that coming on the road 24 hours after they expected to play. And getting that opportunity to jump out here first, and we will see the Great Crossing offense go right back to work. Caleb Shively. Did he say DeCrease Brown is back for the punt as well? Yes.
Yep.
Back for the kickoff, rather. As Grant County. We've seen their offense tonight got shut down, but their special teams gets them on the board. And it is an onside kick as advertised. It'll go out of bounds. Great Crossing was there to cover up anyway, I believe, but it trickled out.
Yeah, luckily it went through Peyton Harris' hands, or excuse me, actually Will Frazier. Looks like it went through his hands, and luckily it went straight through his hands for Great Crossing because it went straight out of bounds at that point.
But here's the good thing about that is it gives Great Crossing a short field to work with, and their defense has done that for them in recent weeks. But if your opponent's going to kind of help you out a little bit, you just take it and run with it, hopefully.
Absolutely, Cal. I think, by the way, we've set a new record in football. We had a guy block a punt and then kick off moments later. I'm not sure that's ever happened.
You know, it's like in baseball when a guy makes a defensive play and they say, how often do you see it? He leads off the next inning. That's kind of a similar situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little bit of a delay in the action as they switch the ball out here, or maybe they were getting rid of the tee. I'm not sure. Great Crossing in business at its own 48 now. Broughton, the quarterback, under center. He will hand off, and it will be stacked up immediately. It's Cobbins, and he will lose yardage back to the 47. He'll be set back a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Warhawks. So not getting a lot on first down except for that first play that they had the pitch to Harris.
Yeah, the inside handoff 3 times in a row has pretty much gone nowhere.
Center of that.
It actually looks like they maybe a trick play here, Cal, but Broughton came off the field.
Yeah, are they going to do a wildcat with Perry perhaps?
Yep.
That is not surprising, and he has been, for those of you who haven't followed Great Crossing football, Caleb Perry is kind of the Swiss Army knife. He will go just about anywhere. Here's the option pitch from Perry. It's Cobbins again, and he will get only a couple on that one. So
yeah, he gained 4 yards. He tried to gain about 20 with his cutback, and he probably could have got 6 or 7 if he'd have just kept going to the sideline and taking what was given to him there.
Could have gotten to that corner. Instead, it will be 3rd and 9. So back just a little past the original line of scrimmage. Is it Broughton again? Yeah, in the shotgun now. He will fake it and then keep it. Gets taken out at the knees. It's Cobbins on the pitch, and he will have the first down. Nice play. And Broughton kind of limping a little bit. That was a very low hit from Grant County. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, Casey Fain with a very good kick-out block on the outside to give him the yardage. Almost identical play to 2nd down. That time the Casey's block sprung Cobbins.
So they found a way to free up Cobbins for a gain to the Grant County 35. Broughton a little worse for wear, but he's under center. Cobbins lone setback, and he will kind of get pushed forward by his quarterback for a yard. That was a kind of an interesting exchange there. He had trouble putting it in his belly.
Yeah, I think maybe he wanted to take it back, and Cobbins decided he wanted to run it, or vice versa.
Wrestled it away from him. It's a gain of a yard either way, as Cobbins will step off the field. Broughton looks at his wristband in the huddle. We're under 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. It's Grant County 6-0 on top of Great Crossing. Broughton in the shotgun. He will pitch it out to Perry, who's got some room on the left corner to the 25 to 20. That is 6 points for the Warhawks. Caleb Perry takes it the distance, 34 yards. And Great Crossing is an Austin Welch extra point away from taking the lead here.
He was a train running downhill there. I've seen Caleb do that in sprints on the basketball court during practice. Sometimes I'm kind of in his way and always have to move right or left just to make sure he stops.
Just want to step aside like a bullfighter. Perry will also hold the extra point for Welch here. Nice job of mixing up the plays on that series for the Warhawks, and it paid off for the long touchdown run. The kick splits the uprights, and with 3:35 remaining in the first quarter, Great Crossing is on top at home, and I think it's the first time in a while we've been able to say that.
Yeah, big touchdown for him there with a really good drive, especially the 3rd and 9 in the pitch, and the run by Cobbins there set it up. And then on that run, like I said, Caleb Perry was gone, I think, from the time he touched the football. The wide receiver kind of ran a post, and the Grant County defense was long gone on the left side of the field. It was an easy touchdown for Caleb.
Perry was untouched, to say the least, as he got to that corner and was gone. And he brings the size, the speed, and the athleticism. You can do so many things with him, as we were just saying before that. He's one of their leading receivers, and he's certainly their deep threat. We almost saw an acrobatic catch earlier. So Caleb Perry puts the Warhawks in front with a 34-yard touchdown run. And the Welch extra point is the difference right now.
Yeah, last week Caleb had 3 touches, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So that's a good start on his touches. 1 touch, 1 touchdown.
He's averaging double-digit yardage per touch, whether it's rushing, receiving this year. And it's been important, as we said, without their leading rusher the past now for a month. As he's been out of the lineup, this is the 4th game without Colbert.
And he's actually still their leading rusher.
Yeah,
so.
It's crazy. Fair catch at the 32 by Grant County. There's some adventures in the kicking game tonight in all facets, but the Braves will take over there. It is a cool night with the window open here. Last time I checked, it was about 48 degrees just prior to kickoff.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous football night, that's for sure.
It feels like probably mid-November for a late October night, but we will take it. It's not raining. Hand off to who else? Logan Sutherland. He'll find some room up the middle to about the 38. Gain of 6 for Sutherland, who rushed for just this side of 200 yards against Scott County. That's hard to do in a 62-14 loss. You don't usually see your running back go for 2 bills.
Well, I looked at the stats. They gained 350 yards against Scott County, but I would, like you said, it was over early, so probably most of those were against Scott County's 2nd, 3rd team.
A lot of yardage and some points scored against those reserves. Quick out to Bick, and Bick will take it out to midfield. It'll be marked just shy of there at the 48.
And Caleb Perry makes a tackle again.
This is not a recording. Marked at the 49, so Grant County on the move once more. This is their 2nd offensive series. The first one was stopped in the red zone, kind of self-inflicted with a strange delay of game penalty that set them back on 4th and 2, and an incomplete pass after that. Sutherland, who's had 8 or 9 carries already. We don't have WL stats here like we do for Scott County, so I'll have to go back and watch the film like a coach, but Sutherland gains 5 more.
Yeah, he's got to be close to about 50 yards, I would say, by now.
I should say so. We'll call it 2nd and 6 from just inside the 47. Nip will look over to the sideline. They've kind of done that hurry up, no huddle, but the one time they didn't, it cost them dearly. Ticking down to just about 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Another handoff to Sutherland up the middle. He will carry it past the sticks, and he will drag a rugby scrum of about 8 Warhawks. And now, and only now, is he taken down at the 31. Yeah, I guess Caden Allen came up from the bottom of the pile, but it was a pile, to say the least. Clock stops.
There was 12 people in the pile, 11 Warhawks and Sutherland.
And Mr. Sutherland, who takes it to the clock stopped with 2 minutes. Now it's running again after the chains move. Grant County's offense churning it out right now. This is an important game in terms of district seeding and certainly momentum for Great Crossing, as they've had it lately. Under duress is Nip, but he steps up in the pocket and finds his man over the middle. Good stick there by Wiley, but not before another first down for Mr. Dion to the 11.
Yeah, he was wide open. It looked like in the middle of the zone there.
Nicholas Dion has been one of their kind of a 3-pronged receiving thread. It's Bick and Dion and Haney have been their 3 big receivers this year, and it's kind of balanced between the 3.
Yeah, all 3 of them over 200 yards for the year.
And that just sets up another run up the middle for Sutherland, kind of off left tackle before 3 or 4 Warhawks get there. One of them comes out with the ball, the Casco, but it's been marked down by contact. 2nd down, under a minute to go now, first quarter.
Yeah, Grant County quarterback Nip, he's a big kid. In that same little interview I listened to on Big Things, the coach said he started when he was a 13-year-old for Grant County back a few years ago. Last year he didn't play. I looked at the stats and I saw Sutherland actually played quarterback, and Nip didn't play for some reason.
Yeah, they had some injuries last year. I know when they played, they had another kid who I think has graduated. As Sutherland just steps with ease into the end zone for an 8-yard touchdown run while we were talking about last year's game. They had another kid in the Wildcat formation last year, but it's as good as gold with Sutherland right now. Nip just has to hand off and get the heck out of the way.
Yeah, Sutherland was not touched there until he hit the red of the end zone.
I had a gut feeling we might see some offensive fireworks and a high-scoring game tonight, but whenever you say that, it doesn't happen. But so far, my feeling has been correct, as Grant County's a 2-point conversion away from going up 14-7 here. First 2-point conversion was stuffed at the 1. We'll see what the Warhawks can do. Nip pitches it out. That was an oddly designed play that will go nowhere, and it will be denied. So they get
it looked like a basketball chest pass to the running back.
They started, of course, the line of scrimmage for the PAT is the 3. He was taken out at the 11, so that tells you how that play went for Grant County. But they lead to the Braves 12-7 with 32 seconds remaining here in a wild first quarter.
Yeah, like you said, Cal, I did expect a, first of all, close game. I mean, according to the KHSA RPI rankings in the 5A, Great Crossing was 24th, Grant County was 25th. They both came in 2 and 3. You know, I think this is exactly what we'd expect early on, a 12-7 game. And really it's going to come down to the big plays. And right now the difference in the game is the punt block touchdown.
Yeah, and, you know, that RPI, so a lot of it, part of it's your winning percentage. So you say both teams 2 and 3. The other half is your strength of schedule. And let's be honest, Great Crossing has defeated Montgomery County, which is winless, and then Western Hills, which had a couple of wins or maybe at least one. But they're a 3A team. Bird covering up the squib kick there. We won't call it an onside per se, because they tried a little something different there, went to the other side of the field, the near side of the field, but the Warhawks were wise to it. They will start from their own 44, so again, good field position. It paid off last time in the form of a touchdown run for Caleb Perry.
You are right about that RPI, though. I know they put it in for basketball last year, and I was always confused all year. Luckily for basketball, it has no meaning. I know they use it in football, and basketball you just line up in the district and play, but
it doesn't really reward you for the strength of your wins necessarily. It just kind of rewards you for who you play, which a lot of times is you can't really help that. Good gain again, and Perry cuts it back this way. He's got room inside the Grant County 40. He cuts back again. There's some laundry on the field, so some of that's going to come back, I believe. But Perry didn't need much help. He got to the 26 of his own volition, but they will probably mark it from the spot. The spot appears to be the 37.
It looks like we've got a
little block in the back.
Caleb got hit. And looked like he was going to go down and kind of kept his footing, and then the penalty came after he kept his footing. So
great job keeping his balance. He kind of took a pitch, came this way, did a little zigzag, cut it back to the left, but it's going to make for an odd down and distance situation.
Might actually still be a first down.
It's going to be, yeah, they're going to mark it as a first down. It was right at the stick, so they will get a kind of no harm, no foul. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Braves 46.
That's 2 plays Caleb Perry's touched it, and both of them have been pretty explosive.
Good things seem to happen when number 8 touches the ball. Here's another straight drop for Broughton, and over the middle to Perry, taken down at the 20, but it's another Great Crossing first down, tackled by Bick to save the touchdown.
A good 24-yard gain there. Perry on the post. He had the inside position the entire time, and like you pointed out before, with his 6'4" frame, you give him inside position, he's probably going to come down with the football.
Coach Page, the former sports writer, right on top of the math. Who says sports writers can't do math? Who says we're all verbal guys? From the 46 to the 22 is a 24-yard gain to end this first quarter. Great Crossing on the move again. They trail 12-7 after 12 minutes. Let's talk about some more of the great sponsors that keep the Bird's Nest Broadcast Network running. We want to mention our offensive player of the game, brought to you tonight by Ozer Paint and Flooring. I think we're going to have no shortage of candidates for that before this one is over. And the defensive player of the game, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, Steve Skierman, your local agent, 502-863-2454, ready to meet all your insurance needs. Of course, we mentioned Ozer Paint and Flooring, your hometown paint and flooring connection. West Banco, by all accounts, better. Greens Toyota of Lexington, great people, great cars, think green. Scott County Veterinary Clinic, we love and treat your pets like our own. Come join our SC Veterinary Clinic family. People's Bank, working together, building success. Go see People's Bank at 101 Canewood Center Drive. Time to Shine Car Wash. Your car will shine at Time to Shine. 8 Lexington area locations to serve you. Burger King, home of the Whopper, 2 Georgetown locations. And finally, last but not least, Domino's Pizza. Go check out, opening soon, their new Georgetown location on the corner of Champion Way and US 25.
Okay, I'm not sure of this. I just drove by that location. It looked like it might be open.
Maybe it is. Maybe I saw the other one is under renovations. There are going to be 2 locations, but you're probably right about that. Broughton with the slant and go
Good
for a
play.
touchdown, 22 yards. Jacob Coulter for 6.
Coulter with the comeback route and did a very good job of when he caught it, immediately turning his hips and heading straight upfield, and the Grant County defender was nowhere to be found.
And now the interesting call. I guess they will kick it, not chase the points, as Welch has the tee. Only 6 seconds into the second quarter. GC back on top of the other GC. It is 13-12. Great crossing. Austin Welch to kick the PAT. Of course, member of the soccer team that made it to regions this year. Bad snap, and it's covered up there by Perry, so it's a no-go. But the teams will come back up the field with 11:54 remaining in the half. Great crossing is back on top, 13-12 over Grant County.
Cal, you took so long having to go through those sponsorships, but what a great town we have that it takes you a whole quarter or a whole between quarters to run through the people that are willing to sponsor these 2 amazing programs in Scott County and Great Crossing. It's awesome they do that. We didn't have time to really get into the next play with you finishing that up.
It just speaks to the community we're in that can support two great programs, 2 great high schools, and just a great fan base as well to support these schools. And we'll be thankful when all of us can get back together and be at the stadium to watch these games. We're very thankful to be able to bring it to you in the meantime.
Yeah, as a lifelong Scott County resident, or at least since I was 7 years old, it's the second school was needed for as much as anything for the opportunities. We have so many kids that wouldn't have had that opportunity to play if we didn't have this second high school. So it's great to see kids out there and get a chance to do what they love.
Of course, God and COVID-19 willing, we will have a double weekend of coverage next weekend, a huge one on Friday night with Scott County and Douglas, and then Great Crossing back on Saturday afternoon. Deep kick taken at the 1-yard line, running from right to left. Good pursuit by Casey Fain again to take it down at the 16. Number 3, Logan Sutherland. We've seen him so many times taking the handoffs tonight, but he is also the return man. Get him something cool to drink over there before he resumes his duties as the tailback for this hurry-up Grant County Braves offense.
Yeah, I think the length of the kickoff surprised Grant County there. I think they thought it was probably going to be another pooch since it's happened twice in a row.
Yeah, both teams have preferred that route until now. We expect to see it from Grant County for the duration. There's the handoff to Sutherland. Caden Allen there with others.
Cal, we talked about Caleb Perry leading the state in tackles, but Caden Allen 7th in the 5A, and Pilot LaCasco's 11th in 5A, and Orion Fisher's 15th in 5A. So they've got a lot of kids with multiple tackles.
You look down that list, and it's well spread out in terms of tackled. It's well spread out in terms of takeaways, too. 5 different guys have taken it to the end zone. You talk about Fisher. LaCasco has done it. I think Harris, Coulter, no shortage of stars on that defense. Scrambling his Nip. He will get to the 12th man over there. Some contact late, but I think it was just incidental. His guys tripping over one another. Nip close to the first down. In fact, they will give him the first down.
He must have barely got there. I thought it was going to be a little short.
Fisher with the takedown at the 29. And that'll be another first down for the Grant County Braves, who trail 13-12 in an exciting first half here in terms of both teams have moved the football quite easily. Hand off to Sutherland. Again, lots of room up the center of the field. He'll get it to the 35, maybe even out past that to the 36. Another gain of 6.5 as he continues to make it tick for the Braves.
Yeah, they need to. Great Crossing needs to start turning those into 3-4 yard carries if they want to keep Grant County out of the end zone.
Gives them a lot of flexibility what to do on second and short. This time they did a good job of ganging up on Sutherland before he got that head of steam. Picks up maybe a yard. Well, they'll give him 2 to the 38. Third and a long yard. Fisher again in on the tackle.
It's a good-looking athlete there, Orion Fisher.
There's a lot of good-looking young athletes in this program in all sports, and that was a tough. Lacasco almost knocked that pass down and get a piece of it, but it was a quick throw that fell incomplete. And we know Grant County will go for it on 4th and short, so they have the freedom to throw it there because they can just hand it back to Sutherland if they want.
Yeah, it's kind of a 2-for-1, the old NBA free throw shooting there.
In the shotgun, though, which I've never liked on 4th and short, but it works out as Sutherland will get past the marker and past the 40 out to the 42. Move the chains again inside the 10-minute mark. Here in the first half, Grant County trails. It's been a matter of PATs so far as Great Crossing made good on one of theirs, and it's a 13-12 difference. A little good fake to Sutherland and throw out to this side and a missed tackle hanging on for dear life. But getting past midfield is Dion.
Yeah, Daquise Brown went for the big hit instead of wrapping him up and kind of gave an extra yard, and then he kind of grabbed his shirt. You've seen that a lot in the NFL this year with those long shirts, coming out as the defenders grab them.
Trying to reel him in almost like a cartoon there.
Yeah,
it's a first down at the 47.
I've seen so many guys take their shirts off in the NFL. It happens.
The tearaway jerseys.
It's happened so many times you think they just wouldn't wear them, but
loose jerseys are the thing. That's why it's such a weird thing in sports when someone like Walker Buehler wears tight pants, I guess, when he pitches, right? That's almost a lateral. I think the officials are going to say it was a forward pass, so it's incomplete.
Yeah, uniforms have changed a lot over the years, that is for sure. And
basketball's trending back with the shorter shorts now, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever get as short as John Stockton and Karl Malone, but
please God, no. But it's definitely not the days of the Fab Five anymore. It's kind of a cross in between, I guess. Second down and 10 from the Great Crossing 47. Back to football here. Nip will take the shotgun snap, hand it off to Sutherland. Good work by the Great Crossing defense to slow it down. Up the gut, got nothing there. It'll be third and long. Big Trey Combs was there in the middle as well. Combs is a load.
This is exactly where Grant County really does not want to be, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that has not played to their favor. Their passing game seems to work when there's an element of surprise. A little bit of a hard count. They're trying to get 5 of that, but Great Crossing doesn't fully bite. Sutherland the lone setback. Clock ticking down, play clock to 6. They will snap it. Sutherland spins away again and gets very close to the first down. Just good hustle, good effort, and also bad tackling there.
Yeah, hard-nosed run, though. I mean, you're right. Fisher had him and probably needs to make that play, but, that kid, he doesn't gain 150 yards a game if he goes down on a little bit of contact.
Not by accident, no. 4th and 1. I bet he gets the ball again. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we can take that one to the bank.
Although maybe a quarterback sneak situation as Nip is up under center. Great Crossing kind of anticipated.
He's still going.
Nip. Boy, we've seen that a couple of times tonight where they just move the pile, whether it's Sutherland or whether it's Nip. Nip gets it out to the 31. Another first down.
One of those plays, I think Great Crossing thought somebody else had him.
You get him. No, I don't want him. First down for the Grant County Braves. 2 evenly matched teams so far, and it's a matter of who's going to stop who tonight, I think. Now we've got a timeout for Great Crossing as they want to talk it over defensively. 7:56 remaining here in the first half.
I think Grant County coming into the game knew that they had to take care of the ball tonight with the way Great Crossing's been turning folks over the the last few games, and they've done a really good job with it. But as you pointed out, they've got a very simple offense. It's, a quick handoff or a quick pitch to the outside. So they really, I don't know how many turnovers they have on a year, but unless they fumble it, they've got a very basic offense is probably not going to turn it over a lot, other than turnover on downs.
Yes, exactly. The TOD situation. At least their offense tonight is such that they're not going to do it in their own end of the field, which was what killed them against both Douglas and Scott County, is they just didn't have a lot of forward momentum. But I guess in a game like those, you throw caution to the wind and just see how it works out for you.
Yeah, I know last year when I showed up in Dry Ridge, I got to the game a couple minutes late, and I think it was 4th and 15, and from the 10-yard line, and they were going for it, their own 10, and I was like, what's going on here? But they obviously do it all. They don't have a punter, or the coach for some reason does not like punters.
They have eschewed the punt all season long, and most of last season as well.
He must be an analytics guy.
Yes, I think we're moving into that.
Billy Bean theory.
Percentages, play the percentages. And the fake, and now the deep throw. Open, but converging and knocking the pass down. Are they going to call interference? Look like good coverage there. Look like he timed it well. I think, is it Wiley on the hit there?
Yeah, I think
and
so.
Perry. Wiley and Perry were there right at the goal line.
Yeah, I think it was Wiley. If they called something, it's got to be on Wiley, I would think, just for not seeing the football. Like you said, I thought he looked like he timed it, but he kind of got the pump fake. He jumped on the pump fake, and if Nip takes some air off the football, I think it's an easy touchdown, but he put a lot of air on it, and I think they got him for really not seeing the football.
Of course, the good news is this isn't the NFL. It's not 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 at the 16. They march off the 15-yard penalty, handoff up the middle to Sutherland. Only a gain of 1 this time. LaCasco was there along with Allen.
Yeah, 2 guys that talked about a few minutes ago. One averaging 10 tackles a game, the other 11.
A lot of shared tackles on this team. A lot of Caleb Perry's tackles are solos. If they get into that second level, he's there to scoop it up. Another handoff. Guess who? Sutherland. Again, only a gain of about a yard. So Great Crossing has done a better job at the point of attack against Sutherland on this series. You got to get a stop here. 3rd and 8. Call it 7.
Yeah, Nip's kind of done the damage with a couple of runs here on this series, a couple of 10-yard runs.
And they jump. Fisher jumping on the left end, and that will give Grant County 5 unless he was drawn. Yeah. I don't think from the body language that that's going to be what it is. They are going to march off 5 yards.
Yeah, Fisher has 4 sacks this year. I think maybe the only one's for Great Crossing. I'm not sure tonight he's going to get there. They get the ball out pretty quick.
The anticipation, but a little bit costly there, as it's now 3rd and 2, and that's a much more manageable situation for Grant County, especially with Sutherland in the backfield. He is almost certainly up over the century mark here already. And we've got 6:58 to play in the first half. He will take it to the left corner. They will run him wide.
Good hit.
Right at the marker. They move the marker to get out of the way there. Chase Little on the stop over on the far sideline. Be 1st and goal at the 6.
Yeah, Sutherland cut back there and cut right back into Little. I think he wished he'd have maybe continued out of bounds.
Yeah, he paid the price for not going out of bounds.
But a good pick, another good run by him, though.
Yeah, he seems to not shy away from contact, obviously. Anytime you carry the ball 35 times a game, you know you're going to get hit. Good effort there, but no, it was a fake. Nip has it. Did the ball get jarred loose? It's in the end zone.
It's either a touchdown or a touchback.
It's one or the other. It is marked a touchback. Signal is touchback. Big stop again. And we've talked about that defense. Did Perry come up with it?
It looks like, Brandon Smith handed the football to the referee, so I don't know if he's the one that got it.
We'll call him the guy. We'll credit him as Brandon Smith, big number 77.
Cal, that play looked destined for failure when it started because the quarterback I think he was going to hand it off, and he realized that Sutherland was going nowhere and decided to keep it himself. And I'm not sure he actually got hit when he lost the football. It looks like he just kind of lost it on his own and then got hit.
Nip with the good fake, and he was kind of stretching out there a little bit, kind of anticipated that he was going to maybe stretch out for the goal line, I think, but got whacked. And it is great crossing ball at the 20. And they've got some time to work with here. Pitch to the far side. It is Coulter.
I think it's Harris.
Is it Harris? I always have trouble between the 10 and the 18. That is a Harris type play there.
Yeah, good first down play. I think right there that turnover, Cal, kind of gets it back to now we're even. You know, we said kind of difference before was the punt block, but now with the recovery in the end zone, it's, you know, kind of back to where we started, so to speak.
Second and short, 4 yards to go from the 26. Broughton will throw, but it's way over Coulter. He was pretty well covered. That's not a bad call on second and short, but it's 3rd and 4.
Yeah, I think he led him too far up the field. Coulter had inside position if he would have hit him on the numbers there.
I think this is Caleb Perry time in some form or fashion.
Well, if he gets it, I'm sure it's going to be a first down because
Broughton with the pitch again to Harris. Harris spins but can't get to the marker. He's going to be 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards short, actually.
Tried to run the same play they ran on first down, and that time Grant County contained it and kept him on the inside.
So it will be Caleb Perry time, but it'll be for a punt after a 3 and out as the clock ticks under 6 minutes. Good play, good stop by the Great Crossing defense, but they can't take advantage of it. Already had one punt blocked tonight for a touchdown. So you got to have a little bit of safety in place here.
Gets this one off.
It is a good kick to the 33, taken down there shy of the 40, so good coverage for the Warhawks.
Yeah, Drake Bird with a real nice play there. The gunner running down the left side there, barely got his hands on Dion and kept it to a couple-yard gain.
Bird, a good special teams player. We've seen some nice returns out of him this year, and a good stop there on the punt return with 5.5 minutes to play in the first half. Grant County with the ball, down 1 here at Bird's Nest Stadium on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network. I'm Cal Oakes with Coach Steve Page. I want to mention our director, producer, photographer extraordinaire, James Scoggin here, working a long day to get us on the air. We want to thank him for all his efforts, as well as his dad, my publisher and boss, Mike Scoggin, back at the office. Another run for Sutherland. He is running all over the place, probably went about 25 yards to get back to the line of scrimmage.
It's actually a really good run because Great Crossing had him on about a 7-8 yard loss, and he got free and cut it to, I guess, 1 yard loss.
Say it will be a tackle for loss, but he went left, he came right, thought about going up the field, and that's where he ran into the Warhawks finally. Did Sutherland. 2nd and 11 from the Grant County 38. Nip hands off to Sutherland, of course, into the heart of the Great Crossing defense. Lacasco is there. Also 20.
There's Fisher there as well.
Yep, Fisher.
And Caleb Perry was somewhere near the play, I believe.
He always is. Line of scrimmage is the 44, 3rd and 5 for the Braves. Nip in the shotgun. Lone setback is Sutherland. He'll get the ball again. He will find first down yardage up past midfield. Grant County's offense churning it out again with 4:12 to play in the half. Great Crossing. Good stop at the end of the last series. They're going to probably need another one to keep the lead going into the half, it would seem.
Yeah, it was a very patient run by Sutherland there.
Just another barn burner between these two schools. Last year, a 28-20 game that came down to the final minute.
Yeah, Sutherland's averaging just below 5 yards a carry, and I think he's on pace tonight.
Quick throw to the left to Bick. He will get knocked out of bounds at the Great Crossing 42. Gain of about 6. gives Grant County some flexibility here on second and short. I got a feeling they will just feed Mr. Sutherland.
Probably a good assumption.
A lot of movement again. Fisher and Combs moved.
Offensive there.
But there was a flinch, and they will mark it back 5. So the Warhawks will catch a good break there. False start on the Braves. 3:42 remaining in the half. Ball at the Great Crossing 48. Can't say GC tonight because they're both GC.
As a Georgetown College graduate, I always think Georgetown College anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I always have to say GCHS, especially at least this fall. There's not any sports being played really except for golf at Georgetown College. Sutherland is gone.
Yes, he is.
They will not get him. Touchdown, 47 yards as he got free down the left side and left the defense behind. And he's not just a workhorse. He's got some breakaway
there's
speed.
some laundry down on the field there. I don't know if
Was
it's
it
a
the celebration? Yeah, he
or...
was kind of taunting as he went into the end zone. I don't think it'll nullify the touchdown, but it will make the PAT harder.
Yeah, I'd say that 47-yard run there put him into his average for the year at 150. I can't imagine he doesn't have at least that tonight.
I think that's just a sideline warning with that signal.
Which is kind of funny considering there's, like you said earlier in the game, there's about 12 of them over there. So.
Yeah, it's a strange situation.
That was a very good run though. Broke right through the line and kind of like Caleb's Perry's touchdown early. He was gone as soon as he hit the hole.
Yeah, he just took off and nothing but green turf. The only thing that was going to get him was the turf monster down the visiting sideline. But Sutherland with the 47-yard run to put Grant County back on top. 3:25 to play. Nip looking to scramble, gets taken down by Fisher. The PAT once again no good. So 3 for 3 are the Warhawks defending those tonight. Keeps the deficit at 18-13 with some time to play with here. 3 minutes and 25 seconds in the half.
Yeah, I know it's not an official stat, but I think Grant County's like 11 yards lost on their 3 2-point conversions.
Yeah, they lost at least 10 on the last one. Yeah, they don't count toward the yardage, but certainly they've gone in the wrong direction.
You know, it's tough by the end of the game. You talked earlier about is it time for Great Crossing to chase points, but, you know, again, I don't know if they just believe in themselves on 2 all the time, but, you know, you look at it and 21-13 would look a lot nicer than the 18-13 for them right now if they were kicking extra points. But yet, you know, the one thing about them, seen them play twice last year and this year, whatever they do, they believe in their philosophy. So you can't, you know, as a coach, if you believe in what you do and you continue to do it, nobody can say anything about it.
That's right. Just be consistent and stick with it. The kids certainly seem to buy into it as well. It seems to fit their personnel, everything they do. They will more than likely try the squib kick, which
and with the 15-yard penalty now, it's going to give Great Crossing great field position if they're able to recover this.
That's right. It was the second sideline warning, and it's booted around, but I think the Warhawks fell on it at the 36, and so great field position for Great Crossing. Was it Lacasco that finally fell on it there?
I think so. Yeah, he looks upset at himself for dropping it. So.
Upset that he kind of juggled it a little bit, but all's well that ends well. At the Braves 36 with 3:21 to cover the distance and regain this lead before the half. Great Crossing.
It's a great thing about high school sports, Cal. When you're not sure what happened, look for somebody's upset or happy, and that's the player that did something good or bad.
Whirlwind of emotions. Fain on the reverse. He got back to the original line of scrimmage, but it took a lot of hop, skip, and jump to do so. Gets out of bounds to stop the clock. They'll mark him back a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11.
I know it's game 6 here, but it's great to see Casey Fain back after the knee injury he had last year and, you know, had to sit out the entire season.
Missed the whole season with a ruptured patella tendon. And that tends to be a full year recovery. similar to an ACL in that regard.
They say sometimes worse now with
you're right. ACL
advancements
can be ACL can be a 6 month.
Yep.
Perry with the Wildcat formation keeper gets it inside the 30 before he's taken down. He has the touchdown run tonight for the Warhawks.
Another nice play by Caleb, just kind of slammed it right up in there and took what was given and got, I think, about as much as he got out of that play.
Looks like he's going to stay in as the quarterback. Broughton is standing on the sideline right now. Clock moving at 2:40 to go in the half. It is 3rd and short. Make it about 3. Perry in the shotgun. He will keep it. He will have the first down and more. He is inside the 20. He gets the corner. He is gone. Tiptoe the sideline. And back on top are the Warhawks. From 30 yards out, that's 2 of those tonight for Caleb Perry, the junior who already has 4 high-level D1 offers and counting.
Yeah, he got to about the 20 there, and even though there was 2 Grant County players that would have normally had a chance to make the tackle, Caleb kind of had that strut like, you're not tackling me.
He's got that extra gear he can take it up to. Welch.
This kid's got a leg.
He does. Austin Welch, senior soccer player, all-tournament team for the 11th region, kicks the PAT, and the teams will head back upfield with 2:23 remaining in the half. It's your Great Crossing Warhawks back on top, 20-18 over Grant County.
A big drive there to, come right back, and very quick drive after Grant County had kind of taken the lead. But again, they're not going to kick it long to begin with, and then you add on the 15-yard penalty. I mean, Grant County kind of shot themselves in the foot there, made it easy on Great Crossing with only having to go 36 yards.
And when you're in that situation, you kind of want to score to answer there. What do? You put it in the hands of your best player.
Yep.
Say, here, make it happen.
I think it was, 3 plays?
Yeah, 2 of them were good runs by Perry. The first one, they lost yardage on Fane, but good of him to only lose 1 there. It could have been a more disastrous situation, and they didn't lose all that much momentum from the great field position after the squib kick, and as you said, the 15-yard penalty proved costly to Grant County there.
So for the most part, Grant County does not fly the football down. Now they run a quick offense, but 2:23 is I guess when you got timeouts, it'll be fine. But
they haven't really thrown deep yet tonight.
Nope.
Kick is bobbled by Bick, and he is thrown down.
Penalty flag.
There's just it is a penalty flag. You're right.
I'm not sure if they got maybe a face mask.
Yeah, Peyton Harris pulled him down rather aggressively, and I guess they're saying he got the face mask, so that'll bail them out a little bit. 15 yards. Move it out to the 28.
And I never tackled anybody, didn't play football, but, when you got him under control there, you hope you don't combat it. And, obviously just got his hand too high there trying to bring him down.
Anytime you see a tackle like that, the team that gets tackled always yells one of 2 things. They either want a face mask or they want a horse collar. In this case, they called the face mask. 2:16 do the Braves have to go 72 yards. We don't have to worry about them kicking a go-ahead field goal. It's not part of their repertoire.
Yeah, that would be interesting, on the 1 yard line with 1 second left, down 2, what do?
I'm guessing give it to Sutherland. That's what they'll do here on first down, and he will get next to nothing. More great work by the heart of the Warhawks defense as they have buckled down lately. Fisher was there along with Lacasco, along with Little. Under 2 minutes now. 2nd and 10. Grant County in no hurry. Now they'll snap it. Is it a keeper? It's nipped.
Kept it. Yep.
off to the left side. Didn't get much. Got out past the 30, but it'll be 3rd and long. Timeout situation. Both teams have 2, ticking down to about 90 seconds.
And they don't seem in any hurry right now.
No.
I guess, usually at the end of the first half, coaches like to get 1 first down before they pick up the pace, and they haven't done that yet.
Great Crossing will get the kick to start the second half. So good situation for their defense to get a stop. Sutherland is stopped shy of the first down, but we know Grant County will go for it on 4th and 2.
Yeah, this is an interesting call for Coach Bowling here. Do you call timeout, trust your defense to get a stop and have over a minute left?
But you don't want to give them any more time than they have.
That's definitely a coin toss decision there.
He's going to let it run 50 seconds. Now Nip will look to the sideline. More time will tick off, 45.
And Grant County's doing a smart thing. Now, of course, if they get the first down, they're also going to nullify potentially their rest of their possession. But
yeah, I
wonder if they're going to call a timeout with 1 second here.
I think they've decided not to do much here other than try to get the first down and go in at the half.
That's
strange situation.
I don't know why you would take a delay a game and not call a timeout, though.
When your whole strategy as a football team is predicated on throwing caution to the wind and gambling, riverboat gambler style, onside kicks, and going for it on 4th down, why do you do that?
Yeah, right there, that to me, that just made no sense. I don't know why you don't call a timeout with 1 second. You're saving yourself 5 yards and the 1 second's irrelevant, but the 5 yards is huge because Great Crossing still could have 25 seconds. And based on the last possession, which didn't take very long.
Not just that, I just don't understand why you get so conservative now all of a sudden. And now Nip's going to get sacked.
Yep. Oh
no, he gets rid of it at the last, and I mean last moment, but Sutherland has nowhere to go, and he is swarmed at the 25. And we know, on top of things, Great Crossing has a kicker who can knock it that far. 17 seconds.
Yeah, the only positive part about that play for Grant County was it took 10 seconds. Could be a big momentum shifter right here if Great Crossing
can you imagine
can
if they
anything.
could punch it in? That would be.
Yeah, that's just, it's a little bizarre. Again, not a football coach, but a little bizarre to me on just the time management situation there.
It's given the Warhawks some time and an opportunity here. Broughton will throw it. It's to Coulter, but I think they wanted to maybe run the hook and lateral, but he is spun down at the 20, and now a timeout with 7 seconds.
Yeah, kind of another thing, another 10-second play, honestly, and there Coulter did a good job of trying to get second effort, but with that little bit on the clock, he almost is better off to just go down with 10 or 11 seconds on the clock and give yourself one more, an additional play. Those 3 or 4 seconds would have probably given yourself 2 plays. Now you're probably down to got to be something really, really quick or go ahead and kick the field goal. And Coach Bowling's looking over at Welch right now.
Welch can do it. He's got that kind of range.
Yeah, Coach Bowling's talking to the referee. My guess is as soon as we hit the ground, we want timeout.
It'll be from the left hash mark, more than likely, based on where they've spotted it. It would be a 38-yard field goal from there, so certainly not a chippy.
No, 7 seconds too. And an average quick play is going to take probably 5 to 6 seconds. So it's one of those plays you got to coach up your receivers here. If they catch it and can't get out of bounds or in the end zone, they need to get to the turf immediately.
I always want to see where Perry is on the field in this situation. He's going to be split out to the right.
Yeah, I could live right here with a
go to the sideline with him.
Little fade pattern to the back pylon to Caleb right here.
That too. We've seen that before. That probably wouldn't take 7 seconds. Instead, they'll go the other way to Coulter. A little jump ball, and he's there. Oh, they're going to say he pushed off.
And it's a good call, honestly.
Offensive interference, and that's going to push him out of field goal range.
Yeah, I guess the only good thing here is there still is 1 second left, but honestly, that's a really good call. But assuming that's the call they're going to make, it is. He definitely pushed off, and I'm not sure he needed to, but
no, it probably gave him the separation. What are they going to do?
Let's see. I saw one of the Warhawks signaled touchdown, but
maybe they're going to.
They look.
The touchdown is good. They talked about it, and I guess they're picking up.
Oh, they called it on Grant County.
Wow.
Called a trip or something. He apparently trip on Grant County.
He still made the play. I didn't see that myself, but in any case,
from a Great Crossing perspective, we're glad that's not. We're glad we got it wrong.
In any case, it's the second touchdown connection of the night from Jake Broughton to Jacob Coulter with 1 second to play in the half. And that's a biggie, Coach. 27-18.
Yeah, it's huge. Again, it goes back to Grant County there, 27 seconds left. Could have called timeout with 28 seconds left, 5 yards further up the field. Really didn't change the situation, but those 5 yards, and then they lost 4 or 5 yards on the next play. I mean, it could be a huge part of the ball game.
And you're looking, it's the old Bill Belichick double possession now, because the Warhawks will get the ball theoretically as long as they don't have a messed up situation with the onside kick.
Yeah, you can
go
start
the half.
Yeah, you go from a potentially a 2-point lead to, if you score to start the third, you're up 16, and Logan Sutherland and never touched the football during that period.
A great throw there from the senior quarterback, Jake Broughton. They took him off the field on the last drive to give Caleb Perry a chance to do what he does best, but Broughton throws a nice ball, as we've seen all year long. 2 touchdown passes tonight to his other favorite receiver, Jacob Coulter.
Well, I don't know why Great Crossing is getting an additional 15 yards there. Maybe they called something after the play.
Yeah, maybe it was. I didn't see a signal like unsportsmanlike or anything.
He did like a tripping type signal, which I didn't realize would be an after the play.
I wouldn't think
type scenario.
Unless you get that option. I'm not aware that you get that option if you score it. Usually,
I didn't think on a scoring play. I thought you had to either take it or decline it. They would obviously decline it.
They will kick it. Grant County's got to cover that. They do. They catch it on the fly.
Really nice play there by
Bick. Taken down at the 10.
I think it was Drake Bird again.
It is Drake Bird. He's been all over the place. If we had a special teams player of the game, he might be it right now.
You're not kidding.
Headed to the locker room field house, and a big finish to the half for the Great Crossing Warhawks in the final 3 minutes. Caleb Perry with a touchdown, a run of 30 yards, then a stop by the defense in a bizarre clock management situation. Leads to the jump ball touchdown with 1 second remaining. And they've gone from an 18-13 deficit to a 27-18 lead over Grant County here on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network.
Yeah, especially after the early punt block touchdown. Great recovery by Great Crossing the rest of the half there.
An entertaining first half.
Yeah. Hey, it was worth the wait, I guess. We had to wait 24 hours to this. As Yogi Berra says, deja vu all over again. We're back here again tonight, Cal. But, very entertaining first half. But I don't think any of us expected anything differently out of these two teams tonight.
Nope.
I think Great Crossing probably knew they were going to have to score somewhere in the 40s to win the football game, and it's heading in that direction right now.
45 degrees and 45 total points in this one. And Great Crossing has 27 of those to go on top here. 2 touchdown runs by Caleb Perry, 2 touchdown throws by Jake Broughton to Jacob Coulter. Defense has done its share. The fumble recovery in the end zone, that was a huge play too. It's kind of been lost in the shuffle of this last couple of minutes, but the difference maker there is it kept Grant County off the board in a situation where they could have taken the lead at that point.
Yeah, I think the difference I talked about the fact that they're averaging about 180 yards passing and rushing the football. And again, we don't have the stats tonight, but I think they're probably there rushing the football, but passing have very few, can't be over 25, 30 yards. I think high school football, the sacks come off the passing yards, so they're probably really, really low in passing yards. So Great Crossing's done a good job there. And, other than the long run by Sutherland, they've kept him to his average, 5 yards here, 5 yards there, have made Grant County work for their points. I mean, really, besides the block punt, they've only given up 2 touchdowns, and one was the long run. So the defense has not done too bad of a job tonight.
Yeah, Logan Sutherland with the long touchdown run for Grant County. Other than that, it's been early in the game, it was 6, 7, 8 yards a pop for him. Lately, it hasn't been as much, and that's been a key certainly as well, as Great Crossing has kind of adapted to not shut him down, but keep him contained a little bit. and it's made a difference here
Yeah.
lately.
Yeah, Great Crossing's got to feel very good about themselves going into halftime. Coach Bowling's got to be, very excited. Having a 9-point lead, and as you pointed out, having the football to start the second half. So really, the start of the third quarter is going to be huge for both teams because Grant County is not a team that looks like it's going to be able to come back from a big deficit. In their methodical approach that that they have, kind of the 5 yards here, 5 yards there, it appears. And Great Crossing, continue that momentum at the beginning of the third quarter can really has a chance to put them away.
A lot riding on tonight. Obviously, the winner will go to 500 overall. They'll also pick up their second win in the district, clinch the number 3 seed. Now that's a choose your poison situation, obviously.
Yeah, who you want? Scott County or Douglas?
Either way, you're going to be in a tough spot, but you'll avoid the number 1 seed, I think, is the key there, and it's marginally better in that respect. And if you're Great Crossing, if you end up playing Scott County again, what more could you want, right? You had a chance at them early in the season. You felt like you did some nice things that night. I think if you're Great Crossing, now you'll see how much you've learned and how much you've gained as the season has gone along.
Yeah, absolutely. As you go, a program like Great Crossing, lost 12 of the first 13 games. Now, I've obviously won 2 in a row. So, you're going to go, no matter who you play in that game in the playoffs, whether you're Grant County or whether you're Great Crossing, you're going to go in playing Douglas and Scott County as the underdog. So, I mean, what more, as you talked about, if it happens to be Great Crossing and Scott County, I mean, what more could you ask for if you're Great Crossing, you're in a no-lose situation? I mean, Scott County's got Coach McKee does a heck of a job year in and year out and has a great program and one that, if you're Great Crossing, you're trying to eventually get to. So, I mean, you get that opportunity again. I mean, but obviously a long time away to get to there. I know if Great Crossing wins tonight, everybody in the community will be hoping they don't play because that means that Scott County beat Frederick Douglass next week. So
either way, they'll be playing a good team in the playoffs, but they'll be happy to be there with certainly, I think, a better record, obviously, and a better situation they're in. Just a year more mature and wiser in a lot of respects. And so much with a new program is gaining that confidence. And, I think back to basketball season last year, you had that stretch out of the gate with a couple losses. And then once you got that one win, it was like for a while you took off there. And that seems to be what football is experiencing right now.
Yeah, sports is momentum is huge. I mean, tonight's game's a great example of it with the momentum. But you're right, with us last year in basketball, lose the first 3, win, 4 in a row, including, a big win against Scott County. And then a couple days later, we, lost to North Laurel. And I think, even though it was game 8, I think that was a huge loss for our team because we gained so much confidence in 4 games and wasn't able to take care of business. And then the rest of the season for us was just up, down, up, down, up, down. We were on a, we're on a roller coaster ride, it seemed like, the rest of the year. So, and for Great Crossing and, I thought, even University of Kentucky, I mean, they win 2 in a row. And today you're thinking when the SEC switched the schedule and they got Missouri before Georgia, you're thinking that's great because they can now have more momentum going into Georgia, maybe with 3 wins in a row. And it just didn't happen. So, with Great Crossing, they win tonight, got Henry Clay. And then I think, I'm not sure who they close with, but, Henry Clay next week.
East Jess.
Yeah, in East Jessamine. So, potentially you go on a wild run and
5 and
play
3.
Scott County or Douglas, let's line them up and see what happens.
Hey, stranger things have happened in high school sports, certainly, especially in a year like this, which is the weirdest one that, probably all of us have ever dealt with, whether we're coaches, players, fans, just so many different moving parts in this. And, on that topic, you got basketball season starting Monday, and that's got to be a challenging situation for you in a lot of respects, not knowing what any of the next 3 months are going to be like.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I guess the good thing for me of tonight versus us being here last night is we're one day closer to basketball starting. So we can officially kick off our season. We'll have tryouts Monday and Tuesday. Basketball's, not only do we have the COVID scenario that's going on, but they always base Kentucky high school basketball off when they can get Rupp Arena for the end of the year. So Rupp Arena is hosting a NCAA first round. So that means our season, actually, we play before Thanksgiving this year is our first game of the season. And so, we're not starting until November 26th, and our first games, October 26th, our first game is November 24th. So it was going to be shortened anyway. And then with us, you lose 8 seniors.
Not a lot of summer basketball.
Yeah, and you had
obviously.
zero summer basketball. I mean, because obviously they shut down during the Sweet 16, so we got nothing after the season was over. So we're kind of going to have a brand new team. We're going to be very, very young. We only had 2 juniors last year. During our workouts, I've really only had 1 senior that's been coming a lot to our workouts. I think I'll have a couple more than that come try out on Monday. But we're going to be very young, but and a lot of teaching. The only I guess good thing for us that COVID has done is we've been required to stay in small groups and do nothing but individuals. So the kids, I get text every week from kids going, "Coach, can we please scrimmage this week?" I'm like, "No, we're not. We're not allowed. B, let's just get to October 26th. That's all I care. Yeah, let's get to Monday. October 26th. That's all we really care about. Quit texting me about scrimmaging. Let's just do it." So, but we've only been able to do individual work. So we have focused a lot on just individual drills and skill development, and with those young kids, that's what it's going to take.
The other thing is, with football being pushed back and basketball being moved up, you're not going to have any football players until basically November 15th, 16th.
If Great Crossing were to lose in the first round of the playoffs, we hope they don't. I hope we don't get the football players till we start playing games. But if they lost the first round, there's like 9 or 10 days from the end of that game to our first game. So you got to give those football kids a couple days to
lick their wounds.
Yeah, before you even bring them back in the gym. And there's we've got probably based on last year, you just never know. There could be some kids out there that decide they want to try out and make a big impact with us, but there's probably 3 or 4 kids that have a great shot to be somewhere in our rotation. And the rest of them have obviously been in the gym, with us. But, we're probably going to, we had 3 8th graders play 9th grade for us last year. And I think all 3 of those kids have a chance to play varsity this year. And our junior class, I think, same as Scott County. That's the funny part about it is Scott County's very, what I understand at least, with Chase and Elias are probably their main 2 seniors. And, we really only have 1 from last year. Might have, Jaden Hall quit last year because of had some knee issues, and I think he's coming back to play. So we might have a couple of seniors that have played, but we're going to probably have 5 or 6 juniors that are going to get a lot of playing time. Scott County's going to be the same. I know they got a great junior class.
They won that JV tournament around the same time you guys won your freshman tournament last year, right?
We actually played them, and they beat us in the finals of the JV tournament. So, even though we lost a lot of kids in our district, we went undefeated in both freshman and JV during the regular season and won both of the district tournaments. And then, of course, varsity, we won our first 6 games and unfortunately lost our last 2. But, Frankfort got hot at the right time and had a very bad start to the season last year, got hot during the All-A Classic and kind of continued that. And they're, on paper, they're probably the favorite this year in our district. They return the best player in the district in Tremblay. Western Hills returns probably their best 2 players. Franklin County loses a couple, but I think their second leading scorers back. A couple other kids that they have are back. So I think our district is about as wide open as it was last year. Honestly, I think you could have had 4 district winners last year. Western Hills, I think, struggled a little bit at the end of the season. They had a very good start, but honestly, during the regular season, they gave us more difficulty than Franklin County or Frankfort until those last 2 games.
Fair to say some challenging road environments in your district. When you think of Western Hills, when you think, I don't know, what is Frankfort got an alternate gym this year, or have they got that?
They are not sure where their alternate gym is going to be at this point. When I talked to them when we scheduled our game, they are, as you pointed out, they are renovating their gym. So we play them. Our district games, we even play home and away in JV and freshman. But this year we're hosting Frankfort in both JV and freshman. And on the road, I asked them where we were playing. They really didn't know yet. So when I talked to them before, they thought maybe Kentucky State would be a possibility.
Yeah.
So I don't know when we play them right before Christmas, a couple of days before Christmas this year on the road. So
That's always an adventure when you're playing that close to the holiday break.
Yeah, again, you squeeze it tight, and then of course, the Toyota Classic got moved, to December this year. It's been in January the first 25 years, and they moved it to second week of December. And incredible field we got this year for the Toyota Classic, but that kind of put changed a little bit of our schedule. So. I was thinking if you looked at our schedule, you'd call me crazy. We open on the road at West Jessamine, who made the Sweet 16, and then
in game 2 is
we play Trinity at home, game 2. But that was you always look at reciprocal dates, and everything was moved up a week, so our return date would have been January the 1st. So
no different, I guess.
Yeah, and but we actually scheduled us and Scott County's first game, unless we play in the Toyota Classic, will be January 2nd this year.
Wow. And then a second one at the end of the season. Right?
Yeah, same time.
Yeah.
We played them on Valentine's Day last year, so it's February 5th, I think, this year.
Yep.
But it'll be fun. The great thing about having young kids like we do, it's every day, as I've been telling them all along, you guys are going to make mistakes, but don't worry about the mistake. Just keep playing. If we can get them to play hard, you covered us last year. You saw kind of, my biggest, I guess you call complaint or whatever you want to call it all year was, sometimes we didn't give the best effort in the world.
Right,
So we're trying just to get kids that'll come in and, give the best effort. And
sometimes that can overcome a multitude of sins, right? The effort.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I'm a big European soccer fan, and they always talk about playing for your shirt.
Yeah.
So playing for the crest they call it on the front of the shirt.
Yep.
No matter how good you are, and so we're just trying to get our kids to play that way, and we'll have a much different group because we'll probably have 10 or 12 kids that are as equal as each other. So it'll be easy to kind of to get them to do that effort too, because
incentive, yes.
Talent wise, we're not going to be much different from throughout our program, honestly.
Coming right up, you all will get a chance to see these games on the NFHS network, and I'm sure we haven't set our Bird's Nest schedule yet, but I know we had 22, 23 games last winter, and with any luck, as we said, we're all kind of watching the COVID map, and I think it'll be a fluid situation with schedule changes and whatnot, but we're hopeful that all teams in the county will get something close to a full season.
Yeah, at this point, Cal, that's our, every coach in the state, every coach in the nation, that's all. At the end of the day, you want to hope the kids get the opportunity to play and get as many games as we possibly can. Basketball is different than football is in terms of, even though we tryouts are 11 days later, the start of the season and the fact we can play 30 games did not change. They left right now that intact.
Yeah.
We'll see how that, there was, I follow the colored map like crazy every day. So there was, I think I counted 52 counties in the red today. So, we'll see how that plays out. I know Jefferson County shut football down next week, and basketball, they're leaving in the same area that we have been. In other words, they can do like groups of 10 individual type stuff. So, you just hope that, obviously with what's going on in the world, everybody stays safe. That's the most important thing.
Jefferson seems to be the anomaly there. Is a lot of the red counties tend to be rural right now, but I think today about a quarter of the cases were in Jefferson County, the new cases.
Yeah, well, the way they calculate the numbers, if you don't have a very big population, you can pop in the red a lot easier than.
Yeah.
But Jefferson County's, like you said, one of the highest, and Fayette County keeps going in and out. Scott County's number dropped a little bit, I think, today compared to yesterday, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, we'll take it. got some big games coming up for football that we kind of need in terms of seeding to get in. One being Friday night. As we mentioned, it will be Scott County hosting Frederick Douglass here on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network. I'll have my usual partner, Derek Varney, for that one, as far as I know. And then Saturday afternoon at 1:30, Halloween matinee. Time just was changed. I don't know when it was changed, but I was told about it yesterday. As Great Crossing will host Henry Clay, the Blue Devils coming to town. They're kind of a new look program for them, new coach, and they've got a couple of wins under their belt after an 0-11 season last year. So a winnable game, but also a challenging game for the Warhawks there.
Yeah, well, the Frederick Douglass Scott County will be a heck of a game, but what's weird about that game is, Scott County obviously, unfortunately, didn't get to play this week. Douglass kind of didn't get to play this week. They played one quarter, and Montgomery County, kind of said enough's enough, down 29-0. The rain came, and then Douglass didn't play the week before. So, Douglass is gone a couple of weeks without playing. Scott County's gone, a week without playing. So,
and then they essentially played a quarter against Grant County. So it's been about a month since they've had a competitive situation. Kickoff for Grant County here.
I bet you it's an onside kick, Cal.
What do you think? Yeah, I'm not going to take that bet, but that didn't even go the 10-yard.
It might make it.
Nope, it went out of bounds, shy of midfield, and that's where Great Crossing will go to work.
So, again, only 48 yards. They get the ball on the 48-yard line, the plus side. And
short field and a chance to really, stretch this one out. They're already up 2 possessions. It's 27-18 as you rejoin us. We rejoin you for the second half. And
again, big possession here for both teams. I mean, Grant County kind of keep themselves from losing track of the game, and Grant County and Great Crossing to kind of keep that momentum.
They're going to mark it at the 43. Great Crossing showed its versatility there at the end of the first half. Broughton will keep it up the middle. A little quarterback draw for 5 yards to the 38.
Kick out of bounds will be a 5-yard penalty, so moved them up.
Great Crossing scored with 1 second remaining in the first half, if you're just joining us. And before that, they scored on a long run by Caleb Perry to take the lead. So in short order, they turned a deficit into a good cushion here. And now we've got flags, whistles.
We'll have a false start
before the snap.
It's going to be a false start against Grant County.
It will move. He said, yeah, he said, everybody's slipping up with the Grant County, and the GC thing is messing us up. At least we haven't said Georgetown College, like you said. 2nd and 10 from the 43. Georgetown College basketball, I guess in theory, will start on November 21st, as they're playing an all Mid-South Conference schedule this year. That'll be fun. Conference has expanded too.
And best conference in the nation for sure. So
even tougher, a 22-game schedule. Here's a throw by Broughton to the left flat. Spun down there is Coulter.
Again, another nice job by Coulter when he caught the football, tried to turn up field and get a couple extra yards out of it.
They've run that play a couple of times in this game, and they've gotten good mileage. It's 3rd and 2 at the 35 of Grant County. Warhawks up 27-18. We're about a minute into the third quarter. Jake Broughton under center. Haven't run the fullback in a while, and they won't here either, as Broughton will keep it himself on the option and pick up the first down inside the Grant County 30. So as we said, shorthanded in the backfield. They've turned to Broughton and Perry pretty much directly at the quarterback position as far as the running game is concerned.
Yeah, you're right, though. They have kind of not gone back to the quick fullback hitter up the middle, and I think did 3 plays early, didn't get much out of it, and really haven't done it.
Now it's an option to the left to Fain. He gets stacked up inside the 30. Good effort to get another yard or 2 out of it. He'll get to the 26.
Ball's carried by number 13, Casey Fain.
Yeah, Grant County got the edge on him there, and he didn't really have much, like you said.
It was the short side of the field, too, from where they were at the left hash. 2nd and 7 from the Grant County 26, 9:55 to play, third quarter. It is Patterson behind Broughton.
One-on-one coverage for Perry on the outside, but
it's a sweep to the left again. It is Fain who will have the first down, just shy of the 15. They'll mark him at the 17, so similar play this time, but Fain makes it work. And they will move the chains, and Great Crossing closing in again. They're in the red zone.
Of course, they almost started in the red zone, like we talked about. Cal starting on the 43. I mean, it looks, you're thinking, man, they're already down to the 18. They're driving, or 17, but they've really only gone 26 yards.
The only time all night they've had poor field position was the touchback. They had a 3-and-out after that.
Yep.
And of course, they had one punt blocked early in the game.
And they go back to the fullback here and didn't get anything out of it again.
Nope. They will have to change it up, I think. If they can get just enough out of that play to keep them honest. But right now, it's moving backwards. It'll be 2nd and 11. It's a tough position to play if it's not your natural position, for sure. Shotgun snap to Broughton, a little timing pattern, a little bit of bump, but no flag. I think both guys wanted one.
Yeah, Dion out there on Perry did a really good job of keeping the inside position and kind of riding him out.
Perry knew he wasn't going to make the catch, so he did a good job kind of playing defense and impeding a little bit.
I guess that was Bick out there on the coverage, not Dion.
They look a lot alike. 3rd and 11. They are in field goal range, probably, but also in 4-down territory. Broughton again over the middle and just overthrows Perry.
Yeah, I think he had him.
He had him one-on-one, a little post. But it's incomplete, and he'll bring up 4th and 11.
This is definitely the difference in the two teams.
It is
Grant County would not be going for a field goal.
It is going to be Austin Welch time from 35 yards. He will put the flat tee down at the 25. Caleb Perry will hold.
The extra point almost got blocked, so they need to get this off cleanly here.
And that one almost got blocked, but did it have the distance? Yes, sir. And Austin Welch puts it through from 35 yards, and that increases the Great Crossing lead to 30-18 with 8:49 to play in the third quarter.
Must be our angle, Cal, because I have no idea how you missed that football. The bit coming there on the outside.
He had the angle, but we didn't, I guess, is the point there.
Honestly, it's a big 3 points for Great Crossing, but also a big stop for Grant County to keep it a 2-score game.
Yeah, it's a 12-point deficit, and of course for them that's 2 6-pointers. They got to make a PAT to make any difference there, but good to put points on the board if you're the Warhawks. That's at least 3 consecutive possessions they've done so.
Back deep to receive for Grant County, going to be number 2, Dion. Number 3, Sutherland.
Dion and Sutherland back deep for the Braves.
Number 6, Austin Welch.
So this becomes now, we talked about how important it was, we always say in basketball, first 3 minutes of each half is very important. And, here goes the same way. I mean, this possession, Grant County really needs a score. Looks like Grant County's expecting a pooch kick, and they got it.
And it's fielded at just on this side of the 20 by Sutherland. He goes long, and he gets taken down after a very short return.
So there was the shocker of the game. Sutherland had the football, and Perry tackled him.
Yep. That's an equation you're going to see quite often. So if you think about it, Great Crossing has scored 17 points in the amount of time that Grant County's run about 4 plays in this game. And they were not 4 good plays at the end of the half. So it has not gone in a positive direction for the visitors from Dry Ridge. They need to get something going here.
Well, and they got 10 with Sutherland not even stepping on the field.
Sutherland
defense.
scooting to his right, doesn't find a lot of room, and then finally Wiley and Perry gang up on him. He gained maybe 3 yards if they mark his forward progress. Now it looks like back to the 31, so call it 2.
Jarvey Ray did not make the tackle there, but he did a heck of a job of.
He was a difference maker.
Yeah, of keeping the edge and forcing Sutherland back to the inside where Great Crossing swarmed him.
As they say, protect your square, and Jarvey did a nice job of it there. Second and 8. 8 minutes to go, third quarter. Grant County trailing by 12. And we have some movement on both sides here. What do we got?
They stopped the play, so you think it'd be false start.
Yeah. Unless there was contact going the other way. And it didn't look like Great Crossing moved enough to achieve that. So that's not the down and distance situation the Braves want. 2nd and 13.
It's exactly what Great Crossing wants, though.
You betcha.
Keep them in long yardage.
You betcha, because Sutherland can't run downhill as easily. And they've done a really good job lately of piling up on him, and they do so again. I saw Lacasco there. He was far from the only one. Perry, of course, gets up off the bottom of the pile. 3rd and long.
You got to give Sutherland a lot of credit. I mean, 30 carries a game, like you mentioned, over 30.
He'll have more than
Scott
30
County.
tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's, he has to take a pounding every week. There's no way he could practice on Sunday, maybe not even Monday most weeks.
Can you imagine a Saturday game and now he's got to get ready for Monday practice?
Yeah, thank goodness that for him they didn't play a quarter last night and then have to come back today.
Can you imagine? Nip has lots of time. He evades the rush, and now he just dumps it off. He had a receiver out there, but he also had Pilot Lacasco. Pilot's got to be careful not to get a penalty, kind of applauding in the Grant County player's face, but nothing doing there. And Grant County, well, we say they would have to punt, but they're not going to punt. They're going to go for it on 4th and 12 from deep in their own end.
Another huge play for both teams. I mean, Grant County's.
This is getting out of hand for them if they don't get a first down.
It is big time.
It could become a 3-score game in short order. Now Perry shakes hands with somebody over there.
Caleb Perry's such a good kid. There's no telling what happened last play.
Might have happened 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, but he
just felt bad about it.
Yeah, he had to go over and apologize to him for something that happened. Caleb did that a couple times in basketball last year.
And that is incomplete.
Oh, flag down, though. Yep. Wonder what we got.
Quarterback didn't get knocked down. It's holding on Grant County, and they're going to decline it.
Yep.
It's going to be Great Crossing ball very deep in Grant County territory at the 27.
And you wonder if, driving here last night, having to go back and come back again is starting to take a little toll on Grant County because, honestly, that possession, they seemed their legs. Sutherland's run wasn't as hard, and then Nip barely got the football halfway to his receiver there.
Yeah, his receiver had to pick it up off the turf. So prime field position here again.
I was getting ready to say this might be a play to give the ball to Caleb Perry, and he's in the backfield.
He is lined up. Shotgun for Broughton, and then about 3 yards behind him is Perry.
I'd say a pitch to the. He was going
it's a busted play. Perry went the wrong way, at least not the way that Broughton expected, and he gets sacked.
Yeah, Broughton turned to pitch it short side, and Perry went the opposite direction.
Aldo Olivas and Tremaine Taylor. Olivas, of course, had the block punt recovery and short return for a touchdown to start this game. Hadn't been for that, Grant County would be well in a hole. As it is, they're looking up at a 30-18 Great Crossing lead.
Honestly, though, last year when in the Great Crossing win over Grant County, they got up a bunch. You thought game was over, and Grant County came back.
3 touchdowns. Keeper for Broughton. He goes the other way. He came left. He finds room on the right. He's still going. First down and more inside the 15 before he's taken down. Good gain by Broughton of 20 yards while they'll mark him at the 16. So we'll call it an 18-yard gain for Broughton.
Yeah, I'll take back what I said about Sutherland. He did a heck of a job running him down from behind there. It looked like when everything broke down and Broughton got loose, he might make it to the end zone, but Sutherland caught him from behind.
A little bit left in the tank after all. But once again, the Warhawks on the move. First man through is Cobbins.
No.
Nope, it's a beautiful fake, and that's going to be a touchdown. It's Broughton. Nobody, including me, until he got to the 5-yard line, knew that he had the ball.
I don't know if Broughton or you fooled me because I was looking at Cobbins too.
I thought so. It was
I thought Cobbins had it.
Beautiful fake, and this game has turned around in right quick fashion. 36-18. Great Crossing has them doubled up right now with a Welch PAT pending. It is good. And with 5:52 remaining in the third quarter, the Warhawks lead is 37-18. And things looking good here on the home field. We, as we said at the top of the broadcast, they have never won at Bird's Nest Stadium. All 3 of the wins previously on the road.
Welch is a very good kicker.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, with COVID, I didn't get over to a soccer game, unfortunately, this year, but I hear he's a heck of a soccer player as well.
He is, as we said, all region in the tournament. He very unselfish player. He kind of was a playmaker most of the season. I think he only had about 2 goals in the regular season. Of course, it was an abbreviated season. Then he just really stepped up, had a hat trick in the playoffs, and I think he pretty much scored a goal in every game in the playoffs. His background was he played in the, I guess they call it the MLS development system.
Like in Columbus, right?
Yeah, Columbus, Cincinnati, Louisville. He'd been all over and decided to, as you said, represent the Shield this year with the Warhawks. His younger brother, Preston, also on the team. Made a big difference on a team that graduated 14
I was going to say, you lose
year.
14 seniors. I don't think Coach Maxwell was too upset with getting those 2 kids into his program.
No. A couple of nice parts that worked out nicely. Another deep kick. Another not so long return. Second effort. I think it's Sutherland. Got him to the 27.
Yeah, they kept him to the 27, but for Grant County, that's 10, 12 yards further than they have been tonight, I think, other than the first 2 pooch.
So Jake Broughton's 3rd touchdown he's been responsible for tonight on this time running the ball. He's thrown it twice. Has Great Crossing up by 3 scores with 5:45 remaining third quarter, and it's been a long time since Grant County has had one of those authoritative drives like they had early in this game on 2 or 3 different occasions.
This is when you know you got a small roster, Cal, because usually on first down they already know what play they're going to run.
They didn't here.
Yeah, all those kids are having to play defense, special teams, and everything. They don't have time to huddle up on the sidelines and figure out what they're going to do next time they get the ball.
And I think in that respect, you're definitely right about the fact that you start to suck a little bit of wind as you get into this portion of the game. Now, Great Crossing has some guys that go both ways too, but not the entire 11.
Yeah.
Second down at 6, so a decent gain on first down for Sutherland, who will get the ball again. He will go to his left, find some room out there, gets to the edge, gets to midfield before he's knocked out of bounds. That was reminiscent of his long run in the first half. And Great Crossing fortunate to get him before he really got to the corner.
Yeah, another good run. Again, he's got to be. They marked him all the way back to the 49. I thought he got up close to the 40. He must have stepped out real early.
He got pushed about 10 yards beyond that.
But he's got to be close to 200 now.
Oh, yeah.
He's gone over 200 twice this year already.
Fake to him, and then Nip throws to the sideline. It's another decent gain up close to another first down. They will mark him at the 40, so it'll be just shy. Is it Dion over there on the left side?
I think it's Bick.
Okay, Bick's number. Yeah, you're right. Those guys very similar and wear similar numbers.
His jersey's crunched up a little bit too. You can't tell that last bottom loop.
No, they marked it as a first down. It will be Sutherland off of right tackle. He'll only gain a couple here. Ryan Fisher again in on the stop. We've said that quite a few times tonight. He's got to be close to double-digit tackles that he's been involved in. 2nd and 8. Time's a
Sutherland
wasted.
looks like he's limping a little bit.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
Sutherland takes it, nothing doing there as he met Chase Little, ripped it out of his hands, but it had been whistled dead. Little was first on the scene along with guess who? Perry, Wiley, Allen, the usual suspects. 3rd and long for the Braves.
37-yard line.
It's going to tick down to 3:30 and under that before Grant County snaps it again.
Yeah, this is almost a must-score possession for Grant County here.
I would say it's fair to say that. Now we're going to have a timeout for the Braves as they want to talk about it. With 3:25 to play in the 3rd quarter, let's mention our great sponsors one more time. Bluegrass Orthopedics, serving athletes of all ages. Georgetown News Graphic, newsgraphic.com. Story after the game. I don't know if I'll give you the midnight guarantee on Saturday night or not. I would if it were Friday night, but it'll be there when you wake up in the morning for sure. Denise M. Keene, certified public accountant, DMK CPA for your tax and auditing needs. Brickhouse Properties Real Estate, buying and selling made easy. Chick-fil-A, home of the original chicken sandwich. TMMK, Toyota Motor Manufacturing of Kentucky. Clark's Pump and Shop, return, refresh, refuel. 3, soon to be 4 Georgetown locations. Georgetown Community Hospital, where your health and safety remain their #1 priority. West Banco, by all accounts better. Greens Toyota of Lexington, great people, great cars, think Greens. Ozer Paint and Flooring, sponsor of our Offensive Player of the Game award tonight. Steve Skierman, Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to meet all your insurance needs. He is your Defensive Player of the Game sponsor, 502-863-2454. Give Steve a call. Scott County Veterinary Clinic, we love and treat your pets like our own. Come join our SC Veterinary Clinic family. People's Bank, working together, building success at 101 Canewood Center Drive. Time to Shine Car Wash, 8 Lexington area locations to serve you. Burger King, home of the Whopper, 2 Georgetown locations. And Domino's Pizza, 2 Georgetown locations, including that beautiful new one, 2 stories near Scott County High School. Snap, shotgun snap to Nip. He is under duress. Combs chasing him, as is Wiley, and Perry knocks it down. It wasn't going to be complete anyway, as his receiver was going to land on the sideline.
Yeah, I think the Great Crossing coaches wanted holding on that play, but
It's kind of that situation where you might have a hold or an illegal man downfield.
4th down, of course, they'll go for it.
Yeah, at this point.
At this point,
especially
though,
on
this
that
is the
side
one
of the
time you
field.
almost have to.
Yeah, it's a conventional situation to do so now. Be one of the longest fields that Great Crossing has faced all night if they get the stop. As we said, they had that one touchback.
All right, Warhawk fans, let's get behind their defense.
Yeah, it seems like, well, I think they reset the clock a second ago, but they're going to have to get moving here. It's down to 5,
Play
and
clock,
they're not
5,
even under center.
4, 3.
They're going to take
They're gonna
another
have to burn
timeout.
Another timeout, or they're
And I think they did.
just in time. It's already 4th and long. It would have been 4th and longer if they hadn't done that.
Yeah. Again, I think that, a little bit of that might go to just the tiredness. Although on that play, when they decided to go on 4th down, the referee there actually had them reset the play clock after it ran down a few seconds. They reset it back to 25, and they still had trouble getting the play off. So I don't know if it was miscommunication or what was going on. It reminded me of the play in the first half there at the end, except for this time they do call a timeout.
It's kind of not only the fatigue, but it's got to break your will a little bit how quickly this is unraveled if you're Grant County. They had a positive first half for the most part. They were kind of in control of it in a lot of ways with Sutherland and mixing it up just enough, throwing just enough to keep the Warhawk defense honest. That one turnover was big, but then the turnover on downs at the end of the half just has had a crippling effect.
Well, with the roster, obviously we're in 5A. So that means they're, it's all based on enrollment. So it's, the size team they have is what you see in Kentucky, mostly in single A football. So it's, I don't know if they're, I'm no expert by any means on roster sizes in 5A, but I can't imagine they don't have one of the smallest in 5A, if not the smallest.
Nip going to run for his life. He's going to get sacked on 4th down, and there's the defensive stop. Who gets up from the pile? Is it Trey Combs? Combs flexing. Number 28 was there as well.
But I
But
tell you
Cone-
what, you got to really like that though, Cal. When he got sacked, he went down. You had two Grant County kids run to him, pull their teammate up off the ground. So if nothing else, they seem to be a very together team.
Yeah, Grant County, you mentioned they're 5A, but their win earlier this year, their district win over Montgomery County, was their first win over a 5A opponent since 2008.
Yeah.
That is a long time. They generally have some success against 2A, 3A level opponents, as a straight handoff here will lead to a rugby scrum and a gain of a couple. They'll mark it at midfield.
Yeah, well, they beat Carroll County earlier this year. And then they play Gallatin and Spencer the next 2 weeks. So, probably based on, the size of the roster, those are 3 schools there that are, comparable to them.
Second and about 8, call it 7, from midfield. Broughton shotgun snap, straight drop, steps away from the rush, finds his man Perry at the 25, sliding catch. Just a beautiful grab by Mr. Multi-Talented himself, Caleb Perry.
Bick was right there again, but Caleb just keeps doing a really good job of getting his number where Broughton sees his number 8 as opposed to Bick there. He's doing a good job getting his body in front of the ball. Bick's, got to be frustrated because he's had some good coverages on a few plays.
Once again in business is Great Crossing at the Grant County 25. Keeper here for Broughton gets a couple. This game playing out similarly to last week, not in the way of last week. There were so many defensive gems, a couple of touchdowns that really turned it, but just the way it's been broken open, similarly to how they beat Western Hills. That one was 7-7 at the half, or close to the half, I think last minute of the half. And that's when they took control tonight, and they're driving to what looks like maybe a score to put it away, although here another handoff up the middle doesn't gain much. A little conservative on this series.
It's the only play that really has not gotten them much tonight.
3rd and 8 at the 23. Of course, you've got the kicker to factor in here. They could try another field goal. Minute 20 to play, third quarter. Great Crossing well in command, up three scores.
Yeah, touchdown puts them up 4. Field goal still keeps it at a 3-score game.
True, with all the twos. Here's a deep throw again, and another sliding catch.
Jacob Coulter, I believe, isn't it?
Coulter, are they going to call it a catch? Yes, they will.
Or no, I think is that Harris?
Harris, I think, has the pink towel.
Yeah, it's Harris.
It is Harris. They were both in the vicinity. And it is Harris with the sliding catch at the 5, 1st and goal. So a couple of nice grabs on this drive as Broughton puts it right on the hands. And
both throws have been where only his guy was going to have a shot at it.
Hit it where they ain't. Under a minute, third quarter. Hand off to Jaquise. Yep. He will get down to the 2.
That might be the longest run on up the middle.
They haven't gained much. A couple of 2 or 3 yard pops. That's been about it. Probably the last play of the third quarter here, unless they score. It'll be a long walk to the other end of the field if they don't. Handoff. Keeper, no. Yep, he's taken down at the 2 is Broughton. Nice play there by number 17, Trevane Taylor. And we'll see if they snap it before the end of the period.
Yeah, I'd say that's the end of the period there.
3rd and goal when we come back, but the clock will tick down to the final 12 minutes. There's a Great Crossing knocking at the door one more time. They lead 37-18 over Grant County. Looking for district win number 2. Looking to go to 500 for the first time in school history. Looking to have a winning record in the district for the first time in school history at 2-1.
It's always nice when the number on the left is at least as big as the number on the right on the record. So
yeah. And if they don't end up playing Frederick Douglass, then their final regular season record in the district will be 2-1. So.
What's that going to be if Douglass wins next week? They won't play it, but if Scott County wins, they will. Is that what the? or vice versa.
I think if Douglas loses, they would have to play it because technically, Great Crossing would still be in the running for the
first place
for the second seed. Yeah,
okay.
If Scott County won, because of the win that Scott County has over Great Crossing, they can't overtake them. But,
well, I guess if Scott County beat Douglas, they would have to play because Great Crossing could beat Douglas, and they would all have one loss
in theory. Yeah.
And for first, second, third, but
actually,
it's a long shot.
Yeah, there's all kinds of scenarios there. As we said, the likely scenario would be that 3 seed, and that's certainly a step forward from number 4 last year. And just the naked eye test, this is a totally different team this year. The Warhawks are feeling good about themselves right now.
Well, I think the biggest difference that I see are the numbers between about 50 and 79 are much bigger for Great Crossing this year than they were last year.
I was going to think we should give some of those guys a call. I see Kevin O'Doherty out there. Ethan Stadnick is a big block of granite there. They've kind of anchored that line. Straight ahead, Jaquise Patterson. Did he get there? No signal yet. He's getting pushed back.
It's close. It looks like he's inside the 1.
At the 1 line. It will be 4th down and a foot. 4th down and a skosh. Well, they'll mark it at the 1. So they didn't give him. They weren't totally generous. I'm thinking maybe Broughton. Maybe a little quick option, if not a sneak. Well, he's in the shotgun formation, so
it looks like he has
maybe
a gap
draw
on the right, but nope.
He will step back and throw, and it'll be incomplete. And they figure, worst case scenario, they get a safety out of it. I guess it will be Grant County's ball at the 1. Interesting call there.
That's a tough throw on 4th and 1 for him to make. Probably one of the toughest plays, especially at this level. You know, you see in the NFL they make fade patterns to the back pylon on 4th and short, but they also have 6'5" receivers with awesome athletic ability.
Well,
so you're a little different. So, but if nothing else, that might have been a play that sets up for something later in the year.
I was going to say, now worst case scenario, you force them to go 99 yards and they're down 3 scores. So. They're not going to get it with that play as Sutherland gets a couple. Great Crossing pushes him back, but his forward progress will be out to the 4.
Grant County missed an opportunity there. Caleb came running on the field very late. I don't know what was going on, but they were snapping the ball, and he was barely past the numbers.
2nd and 8. The initial line of scrimmage was marked at the 2. So they lost the yard with an incomplete pass. I'm not sure how that happened. Nip was under duress. He sidestepped it and found his man over on the far side, knocked down quickly. Daquise was there to make the hit. At about the 8, so it'll be 3rd and 4. And of course, Grant County, it's 4 down territory for them inside their own 10. But at this point, why not? It's only 10 minutes to go anyway.
They stopped them last time inside the 10. Why not?
Hey, sure. They're going to – nope.
They
dropped it on the sideline. Would have had a first down. Number 2, Bick. No, it's Dion. Sorry. 4th down and 4.
4th down from your own 5. Let's go for it.
Why not? What do you get to lose? You're down 37-18. 10:01 to play. The clock is stopped. Nip.
I mean, in this situation, down 19, why not? But crazy part, they'd be doing it if it's in first quarter.
Oh, absolutely.
With 10 minutes left.
No question about it. That's their MO.
Oh,
deep throw for Nip. It is not caught. Nice play there to continue with the coverage for Jarve Ray. As they've hit that deep ball. They hit it a couple of times against Scott County. They have not hit it tonight. As Carson Bick was well covered by Jarve Ray.
Bick actually got his hands on that, but it's one of those plays for Great Crossing. It would have been Obviously, it ended up incomplete, but Ray would have been, even if he could have intercepted it, was one of those plays you just want to knock the football down because you gained 40 yards with it being 4th down.
1st and goal at the 7. Chance to put it away for the Warhawks. Broughton in the gun.
Be a fade to Perry.
One would think.
And
He
dropped it.
He juggled it and it fell again. But couldn't stick the landing. And it will be 2nd down. He has 2 touchdown runs tonight, looking for his first catch in the end zone. He's had a sliding catch earlier that led to, I guess that was on the field goal drive. Broughton under center this time. They've mixed that up tonight, about 50-50. 2nd effort there. Who is that? That is not someone that's carried the ball tonight.
I thought it was 22.
I almost think it's Allen. Yeah, I almost think it's Caden Allen. That's what I was going to say. Reminiscent of Trent Allen last year, carrying the ball a little bit, getting to play on that side.
Kind of back to the size of Caspin, somebody like Caspin Colby.
Yeah, I almost wonder why they haven't gone to that a little sooner. They've got it to the 2 now. It's 3rd and goal. Cobbins at that position now. Will he step in and give it to the official? Yes, sir. Touchdown for Tyrus Cobbins with 9:19 remaining in the game. Great Crossing has this one in hand, folks.
Excellent defensive stop. It's sometimes when you go for it on 4th down like Great Crossing did a couple possessions ago and don't get it, it has an opportunity to be a momentum shifter, but they held them to, I guess, 3 to 4 yards and got the ball back immediately.
Mm-hmm. Took over again at the 7-yard line. He hooked it. Did Welch. So his first miss of the night, but he certainly earned his keep. Actually, he missed one early in the game, I guess.
Well, that was a bad snap. I can't blame that one on Welch.
No, that was a snap that Caleb Perry almost got down, but it was a low one.
All I can say is it's a good thing in that end zone they have a way to get up on the roof because Welch kicks that football on the roof every time.
He has some towering kicks over there.
Well,
43-18 is your score.
An excellent game here from Great Crossing. I think it was that 30 in a row, Cal. 30 points in a row. When it 18-13?
Yes, it's a 30-0 run here.
Or was it even? Yeah, it's 12-7 at one time, and
then it was 13-12, and then it was 18-13.
So, and really dominating. Since then, it was since that touchdown run by Sutherland. Again, I wish we had stats. I'm a big stats guy, but
me too.
I don't know that they have 50 yards of offense since that touchdown run.
No, and their strategy of what they do works, like I said, when you're running downhill. But once that first stop creeps in and the doubt creeps in a little bit, it just seems like Great Crossing's been able to tee off, and that field position has turned into points aplenty.
Another short kick.
Half decent return this time, gets it out to the 38.
Caleb Perry with the stop again.
Number 13, Olivas on the return for the Braves. Perry, he's definitely over double-digit stops tonight again. He averages 18 per game.
Yeah, that's a big difference in the two teams. I think we've probably called maybe 5 or 6 Grant County kids' names tonight. And obviously with Great Crossing, multiple people have touched the football and made big plays.
They spread the wealth on offense and defense, certainly. Grant County with 9:13 to get something done and get feeling a little bit good about themselves on the bus to Dry Ridge. That was dropped. Everybody dove on it like it was a fumble, but it was an incomplete pass. Trey Combs, I love his emotion on the field.
I guess when you're a defensive guy chasing the quarterback down and all of a sudden you turn around and the football's on the ground, you have no idea what happened.
Exactly. You get excited as a big guy. You think you can pounce on it. And we've seen a lot of big guy touchdowns for Great Crossing this year. In the 3 games prior to this, defense put it up 5 times. 2nd and 10 for the Braves. 9:08 remaining in the game. Hand off to, nope, it's a fake. And Little almost had him. This time it will be Fisher, Ryan Fisher, and Caden Allen. And slow to get up is Nip. He's another guy that takes a beating along with Logan Sutherland.
Yeah, he's taking a beating tonight, especially lately. Because, again, you're down, 25 points. You've got to throw the football a little bit more if you want to have any opportunity, and they're just kind of leaving him hung out to dry.
A little bit shy of the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and a long 10. At this point, it's all long for Grant County. Long way to go and a short time to get there. Hand off to Sutherland. He gets more room than he's had in a while, out to the 45. It'll be 4th and 3.
Yeah, it's Perry again with a good tackle.
Stop us if you've heard that before.
I think he might still be leading the state in tackles when this
I think
game's
so.
over. Definitely, I don't think he's messed his average up.
He's over the century mark for the season. There was no question about that. Came in with 90. Sutherland first down, past midfield. So Grant County's got a little bit something going in the good feelings department, the cosmetics.
Nip looks like he's still struggling a little bit, so I would say they'll be going to a steady diet back of Sutherland again.
Yeah, Nip is not feeling 100% right now. Guess who? Caleb Perry tackles guess who? Logan Sutherland.
I think Caleb Perry kind of knew what was happening as well. He's usually catching him at 4 or 5 yards up the field. He got him early that time.
Anticipation, as Carly Simon would say. 2nd and 8. Now we got another timeout. Looks like an official's timeout. Equipment, maybe. Yeah, Chase Little had a cut on his arm, I guess. Play resumes. Clock winds with 7:20 to play. Great Crossing well on its way to 3-3 on the season, 2-1 in the district, and 2 winnable home games from here. Quick throw to the left. Complete. Down to the 41 is Bick. Carson Bick.
Mason Wiley almost undercut the route there and would have been celebrating in the end zone.
Drake Bird was involved in the tackle. 3rd and short. Couple of yards to the marker. Nip looks to throw. He's got time, and now he has to scramble. Throws it back across his body. That's a dangerous pass that Caden Allen anticipated and knocked down. It'll be 4th and 2.
It's a very disciplined play by Allen there because he could have gone for the big play.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you do that, you miss the football, and the Grant County kid would have caught it.
And had a running start to the end zone. Presence of mind to just knock it down. One more chance to get a defensive stop for the Warhawks. And they do, as Sutherland will not get there. Stopped at the 40. Trey Combs gets up off the pile. Fisher.
And I think the game was pretty much already over, but that will definitely put the nail.
Yeah, that's a 25-point margin. A couple more scores will get to running time. It won't be much left. This has unraveled quickly for Grant County. Not quickly enough, they probably think right now.
Yeah, they're ready to play Gallatin County and Spencer
ready to
County.
Warm up the bus and pick on a couple of people beneath their own size.
Oh,
Broughton gets the handoff made. It looked like a little confusion there. We've seen that a couple of times tonight. Patterson gets up to just shy of midfield.
It's a good 9-yard run on first down.
Instead of the straight handoff, it was almost like a counter, and that helped free up a little space for Patterson. It's hard to run a counter when you've only got a single setback, but little deception. Now it's a more conventional handoff to Patterson. He don't think got the first down, stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 1.
I mean, those quarterbacks, you know, when they stick the ball in the running back and pull it back so often, I mean, they got to make such quick decisions.
Yeah, you look at both the quarterbacks in the county this year. Jake Broughton and Zane Patton do a nice job with the deception. It makes their offenses hum. Straight ahead. I don't know if he got there this time either.
Looks like the depends on who they give it to.
Yeah, they're in two
the outside's
different
about
spots.
the 50. The other one's on a 49.5. So they need the 50.
Patterson again, the ball carrier. Now they're kind of obscuring it. It's marked maybe a width of a credit card shy of midfield. The marker's kind of on the other side of midfield by a hair, so it might be 4th down. They're going to measure.
Really, really close.
They're going to measure in a 25-point game with 4:54 to play.
Hey, they tell you to finish every game like it's 0-0, right?
True. That's true.
Even though we both know that never happens.
Yeah. Very rarely at this level.
But it's always fun to be the team with the 43, and
yeah,
you don't really care at this point. Well, you want to get the first down, but oh well if you don't. You know, nothing's better than. And this is what 3 weeks in a row they've kind of had a comfortable, you know, fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks in what they'd scored 44, then 42, then 43. So I'm pretty good at math anyway, but I can even tell you that's a 43-point average.
That's right on the money there. They have piled up the points. They've done it in a variety of different ways. Tonight it hasn't been the defense putting them on the board, but getting them good field position certainly. And it's been a nice mixed bag of Perry out of the Wildcat, Broughton out of the option, running and throwing.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear Coach Vanderpool, see if he's happier tonight with his defense than he has been the past couple. Just because, you know, those plays they get as we get the first, Greg Crossing gets first down.
It's going to be a sneak for Broughton. He'll keep it up to the 40. He'll gain 10. He only needed about 10 inches. He got 10 yards.
But what I was going to say is, you know, those turnovers you get, sometimes there is, you know, as much bad plays that the offense makes, and they make you look good on defense. But, you know, other than especially here the last, you know, roughly 2 quarters of the game, I thought Great Crossing defense has done a heck of a job on Grant County.
Yeah, if you can hold these guys scoreless with the things that they can do. There's a deep ball. It's caught.
Coulter.
It's a touchdown to Coulter, his 3rd of the night. And Broughton throws a dime from 40. This one's over, folks, even if it says 4:15 to go.
He was a very, very nice pass by Broughton. Coulter got a step right off the bat and made a very good play. He's had a heck of a night.
And Great Crossing, an extra point away from frying up the first 50 burger in school history.
I think you got a coin toss, Cal, between Broughton and Coulter.
I think it's hard. It's the same age-old question. Do you go with the quarterback that put it on the money, or do you go with the receiver? Yeah, it is indeed 50-18.
I guess you can't do it without either one of them, but
the harder one I think tonight is defense. It's been such a by committee thing.
Yeah, because, I mean, in all honesty, Caleb Perry's had a heck of a game, but you can give him defensive player of the game probably every week.
Any old time.
And Caleb will be the first one to tell you he would probably rather one of his teammates get it.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I'm thinking Orion Fisher's had a nice game. Caden Allen, Chase Little's been in the middle of everything. Trey Combs could go in 100 different directions.
And I don't think he's played necessarily a lot on defense, but Brandon Smith's made some good plays on defense.
I think he had the fumble recovery in the end zone.
Had a fumble recovery, and the first time that Great Crossing actually started to slow down Grant County was when he got in the backfield and kind of disrupted a play there on, I think it was first or second drive of the game. So the Great Crossing kickoff's kind of been like Grant County going for it on fourth down. It's been a pooch kick every time, so it's kind of been a little predictable. But
we'll see here. They will kick it semi-deep
That's
toward
gonna
the
hit the ground.
sideline. It's going to go to the sideline, I think. Yeah, we're going to see a flag.
yeah, Grant County looked like Sutherland there was pretty confident the ball was going to kick left, but
Yeah, he was a little dangerous. It did what Great Crossing wanted it to do, certainly. Some reverse English there.
yeah, that's one of those plays in this game. You never want to kick the ball out of bounds on the kickoff. Gives the other team great field position, but at the same point, that's one of those kickoffs where the coach asks you to do something special, and sometimes it's harder to execute that.
Grant County will take the ball at its own 35.
And Grant County has waved the right flag because Sutherland has hit the has gone to the bench. So
they're not going to subject him to any more abuse.
Yeah, they must not have a backup quarterback because Nip's taken a lot of heat and still limping out there, but he stayed in the game.
There's a handoff to whoever the new guy is.
To Fred's the freshman. It's the young kid that had the touchdown on the.
That's Mr. Olivas, number 13. Just put a 1 in front of the 3. And,
well, since Sutherland's a senior, I would say here's our heir apparent here next year for Grant County.
I think that's where it's looking.
He's actually only had 1 rushing attempt on the year going into that carry and had lost yardage, so he's now positive.
He's on the good side of the ledger now. There's a quick throw to Bick. It's going to be smothered. 3 Warhawks are right there.
Patterson, the other Patterson, Jarius. Now you're seeing some players in certain spots. It looks like it's been out on the field for the first time. You still got Perry in the game and a few other kids that have played a lot, but looks like their linebacker core especially has changed.
There's a handoff to Olivas again. He is stopped right at maybe just a half yard shy of midfield. Another gang tackle. Perry comes up off the bottom of the pile. He's not coming out of the game for anything. Ball will be marked at the 50. 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, Caleb Perry probably has a coach told him, if I tell you to come out of the game, ignore me.
Ball thrown toward the Grant County sideline. It is complete. It'll be 3rd and short as they will get the ball out to the Great Crossing 44. Dion with the catch on the throw from Nip, who is going to need an ice bath after this one.
Yes, he is. A lot of kids for Grant County are going to. Hopefully they have one on the bus. Hey, there's plenty of room to spread out in the buses. That's the one good thing about COVID, I guess.
Social distancing right now. You bring 2 or 3 buses for 30 kids. They will smother the ball carrier, Olivas, right at the marker. They'll move them. They'll move the chains. Not a lot of first downs in the second half for Grant County, but there's one.
No, I think that was a 50-18 spot, Cal. I'm not sure he got that far, but
that was a let's move the clock and the chains and the whole enchilada. 2 minutes to play by the time they snap it, and now we'll have a flag right at the 2 minute.
Grant County was a little anxious to play that play. It went a little early.
They're anxious to get out of Dodge. Caleb Perry kind of hunched over there. I don't know if he's just tired. Hope that's all it is.
Yeah. I'd say everybody on the Great Crossing sideline in the crowd, everybody's hoping he's just tired.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't blame
his basketball coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
just hoping to get one more year out of him, with all those offer he's got. Who knows about senior year?
Hard to imagine about senior year, yeah.
He promised me he'd play this year, so
that's good.
I saw him in my neighborhood one day, and I'm like, "You are playing, aren't you?" So
that video that was going around this summer of him jumping out of a swimming pool.
I think, matter of fact, the day I saw him was the day he did that. Thing. Yeah, he's quite an athlete, that is for sure. And like I said earlier, he's such a good kid. I mean, unbelievable how good of a kid he is. That in all seriousness, he's the type of kid who could have 30 tackles, and he doesn't want you to make him the player of the game. He doesn't want the attention to be on him. I mean, I always compare him to Michael Moreno.
Yeah,
that's the same type of kid Michael is.
A lot of similarities there in when you meet the both of them.
Yep.
We're ticking down to a minute as Mr. Olivas is getting his first significant varsity work at running back for Grant County. They're down inside the 25 of the Warhawks, but they're going to run out of time, it would seem. Another handoff to Olivas. He's taken down at the 18.
Speaking of Michael Moreno and Eastern, did you see AW today make 94 out of 100 free throws?
Unbelievable, I say. He's a straight baller and a shot caller there. He is.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I made 2 in our open gym the other day, and I was proud of myself.
He is a man of many talents.
He had a chance to score.
He tripped shy of his second touchdown of the night. First one came on special teams. This was the Daniel Brown scenario, eaten by the turf monster with 30 seconds to play. They'll have a shot to get in here. They'll probably give it to him again, I would think. They mark it at the 5.
Great crossing, changing personnel. I think they're offsides there if they want to call it.
Aldo Olivas taken down at the 3.
And again, I think a 50-18, they decided not to call it, but
that was good of them. This should be the last play of the game as they hurry up to run it. 7-6-5. Nip hands off to Olivas.
And I think he got in.
They're going to give him the mark on the last play.
We had 2 buzzer beaters tonight, first half and second half.
And, of course, they will go for 2.
Did they make them go for it in high school?
Yeah, I don't know. There's no Vegas.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, no Vegas, no tiebreaker rules. Or a great win for Great Crossing tonight. 50 points.
50 points, first time in school history.
I was going to say that's school record too, right?
50-24 is your final. They are 3-3 for the first time in school history, 2-1 in the district.
And that's the first time. Here's the COVID hand wave instead of the shake. And unfortunately we can't do it, but it's always good to show gratitude to the other team, the kids out there doing it. It was a well-played football game.
We will mention that the offensive player of the game, I'm going to check it out and give it to Jake Broughton, the quarterback. He had the touchdown run in addition to the 3 throws. And also, that defensive player of the game, we might have to split it in half. I might have to get down there before I decide.
Give it to Coulter. As I told you last night, we had Steve Skierman sponsoring the defensive player of the game, and I kidded Ty, who's our most experienced returning player, that his dad shouldn't be sponsoring anything with defense, but
it might be the first number that I see that was the defensive player, but we will post that on the Twitter feed and let y'all know. I guess they're going to run into the field house, so I don't know if I'll get down there in time to talk to them or not, but we will thank you, Coach Steve Page, for joining us. I will be seeing you very soon inside the gym for basketball, and great to have you here tonight for a great win for Great Crossing. Your final score, ladies and gentlemen, the Warhawks 50, the Braves of Grant County 24. For Steve Page, for our producer James Scoggin, for Mike Scoggin, for DT Wells, for Derek Varney, who I'm sure will be here with me next Friday night, I'm Merely Cal Oaks. Check out the story at newsgraphic.com in a little bit. Until next time, big doubleheader weekend next weekend. We'll see you on the other side. See you on the sidelines. God bless you. Good night, everybody.